to paint it that way. So they go in dangerously into the centre of the ground. They need some running and some support there. They're going to find themselves in trouble. Inverleigh with some numbers around the contest, and that was Nathan Mays tried to win himself a free kick. Player as the ball is kept alive. It's in the hands of Bruns. Bruns comes back towards centre wing, and again it goes towards Farrell, and the ball goes over the boundary line, and it is out of bounds. And we'll have a throw in on true centre wing.
So Casey Meehan comes off, and Caddison, McEwen, Walsh back onto centre half forward. It's Davis and Wilson again. Davis wins down straight into the hands of Farrell. He can't get away. Ball bobbles around. Inverleigh players are trying to get us. Robertson trying to break away. He can't. Over the back to Dalton Grundle. He's grabbed and unceremoniously dumped over the line.
I think you're right, Smithy. I think you're right. Davis has done a great job against Wilson. But when Wilson comes back in a few times from having a rest fresh, that's going to put Davis under a lot of pressure. He needs a hand.
So the ball now, Ruckman go at it again. Davis gets the ball down to Smith, got the handball away again into the hands. Well, it was to Farrell. Farrell went out the back, and he's got some support out the back there. And it's going to be Clark. He missed the target, and the ball has gone over the boundary line. So there's going to be another ball in to take place.
There's a lot of pressure on him out there. That was perceived pressure because that was a nice, easy little handball that he should have made the target. I think he expected to be tackled.
The ball thrown back in by the umpire. Inverleigh ringing the changes here. There's been quite a few in this first quarter. Again, good strong tackle there. Coming through was Fisher. Couldn't get release of it. Grundle picks it up and goes back into their forward line. Mark, again, good spoil from behind, and the ball runs back over the boundary line. So, as I said, we've gone 23, almost 24 minutes into this first quarter. North Geelong have done a pretty good job, but Inverleigh at 2-4. One goal straight to North Geelong. Buckley's Entertainment Centre first quarter scoreboard.
We're going to have a throw in now in the forward pocket. It's McEwen Walsh gets it down in front of him, tries to kick it off the ground, can't do it. Pack of players jump on top of it. North Geelong with Brockenshire very cleverly gets it out towards Bruns. Donahue picks up a crumb, kicks it quickly, but it's slapped into the behind post, and we'll have a throw in right beside that. Inverleigh in attack. We're nearly 24 minutes into this Common Nafeen Hotel first quarter. Robbie, what do you know about Mason Dixon from Inverleigh in your travels? He's sort of a lively, likely type. He's a bit lump of a lad, looks quite young. I don't know whether he's come up through the juniors or not.
Well, I've heard of the Mason-Dixon line in the old Civil War, but this bloke, haven't heard of him. No idea.
Isn't he the bloke they got from Bacchus Marsh or something up that way?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
But he certainly looks like a player, but he's just a bit heavy, but going along all right. Couple of handballs from North Geelong, kicked down the line. Davis goes over the back of the pack, can't quite hold the mark, got up quite high. It's come off his hands and gone over the boundary line for a throw-in. It's just outside the 50-metre arc. North Geelong have done a pretty darn good job. We're almost at the end. They've only 10 points down, and Inverleigh have had the use of a bit of a handy breeze. Wilson and Davis again. Wilson gets it down. Ball bobbles over the back of the pack to Myers for Inverleigh. Wilson butters up again, can't get it away. Geez, North Geelong have done a good job. They've been very aggressive around the ball. Quick hand pass out towards Kenner. His kick is smothered. Inverleigh quickly get it back into the middle of the ground. Myers again gets it across to Best. He kicks long into the centre half forward position. McEwen Walsh can't hold the mark. Brockenshire runs it over the line for another point. That is 2-5-17 Inverleigh. North Geelong one straight goal. 25 minutes is kicked.
Dangerous.
Kicked over in the first quarter, and that is a dangerous kick into the pocket. And Inverleigh have come in and intercepted. And that's Manganelli has taken a mark in the forward pocket. Tight angle, and the breeze, the way it's blowing, I don't know if it's going to help him at all.
Well, it should. That's where you've got to be kicking them from, that side of the ground. And North have forced them this side, and that's why they've holding on. But I think if he just lays that up, the wind should take it straight through the middle for him.
So Manganelli, a very experienced player in the Inverleigh side. He does a little bit more than lays it up. He kicks it very forcefully.
Kicks it too hard.
Through for one behind. And that takes Inverleigh to 2-6-18. North Geelong, one goal, 26 minutes into the first quarter now.
And you're right, Smithy. Mason Dixon is from Bacchus Marsh.
Yep. And the ball is brought in there this time by Fisher. Goes out wide. Mark is taken out there, so it's going to come back very quickly. They run the ball now and decide to go long. Tyquin goes back towards the goal square. McEwen knocks out the back. He did put the hands in the back, but it's well read there by Brockenshire. Plays on now, brings the ball back out. And it's going to be Haste that leads in the race for the ball. He's got plenty of time and space in front of him. Handball goes back inside to Love. Love looks in. Again, goes back towards Muir. He'll take the marks. They've got players across the ground if they want to use them. Also got a teammate just short in Brown, but decides to go long into the forward line. Grundle in front, ball gets out the back, so they've done this nicely.
Get rid of it!
He did just in time, grab, good call. Ball goes out there from a teammate in Henderson, goes wide, but it runs over the boundary line and will be thrown back into the field of play.
It's a very, very good job North Geelong have done at this stage. Only 12 points down, 27 minutes in. There can't be too much time left, and I reckon Adam Donahue would be disappointed with Inverleigh's work in the forward line so far. The umpire's blown the whistle after that boundary throw-in, has deemed it's got to be done again. He thought that was a bit unfair. It came in very low and thrown up again. It's a little bit better. It's McEwen. Walsh taps it down, can't get clear of the pack. A very strong tackle there by Templeton, and we'll have another ball up. As the siren goes for quarter time, Inverleigh 2 goals 6-18, North Geelong 1 goal 6-8. A goal kickers, Dale. We'll get back to the studio for some time to give Grubby a bit of a thought process.
So goal kickers to this stage of the game for the North Geelong side. Their only goal is from Mitchell Habib, and for Inverleigh, their 2 goals, Nathan Mays and Casey Meehan.
David, we'll go back to you in the studio to clear some sponsorship announcements. We'll be back here at the Keith Barclay Oval to continue our coverage of the match of the day, North Geelong versus Inverleigh. This is 94.7 The Pulse. Around the grounds, Thomson have had a wasteful first quarter, 3-11. Anarchy yet to score. They've obviously had a bit of wind. It's 1 goal North Geelong here, 2 goals 16 to Inverleigh. And the only other score we got, Werribee 2-3-15, East Geelong 1-2-8. Grubby, would you have been impressed with North Geelong as I was in that quarter?
Well, I was. I mean, before I get into that, what were your scores? Whose scores did you have?
3-11 Thomson against Anarchy, no score.
Yeah.
And East Geelong 1 goal 8. Werribee Central's 2-3.
Right. Belmont Lions 2-2-14. Belpost Hill 5 straight 30. And who was the other one we're looking for?
We're looking for Bannockburn and Corio.
Bannockburn and Corio. Bannockburn on 12, Corio on 8.
Yeah.
So you would think Corio would have had the win. But
and for those of you who think you've only done 5 games, you clowns, Winchelsea and Geelong West play tonight, so we haven't got to there yet. So tell us what you thought about the Magpies.
Well, we said before the game they said to hang in there and have a real hard red-hot go, and that's exactly what they did against what you blokes are calling maybe a 4-goal win. And to restrict Inverleigh to 2-6 and kick one themselves. You know, last year, as you said when we interviewed Habs, they kicked 10 goals in a quarter against Belmont. Well, if they got the wind in, they do that. That'll throw the cat amongst the pigeons to this all-conquering Hawk side. But I'm not quite sure whether they can do that. But at least they've given them the chance to keep themselves in the game. At least till half-time, you would think. Although Inverleigh will kick goals against it too, I think. So they've really got to work hard this quarter. I thought for North Geelong, I thought Jacob Bruns was good down back. Charlie Farrell got a bit of the footy. Aaron Best. Brent Swinnerson, I thought, was their best player. I thought he was fantastic coming off the half-back line. And Mitch Habib, the ball come down there once and he kicked that goal. So I'm going to give him a rap too because that's all you can do. Over on the Inverleigh side of the page, Matty Tyquin was their best player easily. I did his stats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He had 8 touches in that quarter and come off for a fairly long spell too, so he was pretty good. Nathan Mayes is dangerous. Adam Donoghue, I tell you what, if he actually held it each time he grabbed it and made right decisions, he'd have 4 goals on the board. So he's one they've really, really got to watch. I thought Mason Dixon was pretty good. Oh, and I'll tell you what I forgot from North Geelong, the big bloke in the ruck.
Yeah, he's done a good job.
I was not talking to him, but I was talking to blokes who were with him before the game. He's very, very keen to do well with the, Wilson being there, taking the number 1 spot and going. But you hit it on the head. He can't do it all day, and if Wilson keeps coming back fresh, he will get the better of him. So they've got to find... They don't look very tall out there, North Geelong, so I'm not quite sure who they're going to throw. Maybe Mitch Habib for a while. Not this quarter with the wind, but against the wind in the third quarter, they may be able to do that. But, look, obviously we believe that Inverleigh will play better footy, but I tell you what, this mob are really having a go, and if they kick a couple with the wind, we may have a game on our hands.
Definitely. Well, this is a situation last year where sometimes, after a good quarter, they can just disappear, and it's very important that they take advantage of this breeze. And even if they break even this quarter, I think they'll be very happy with that first half. But
no, they don't want to break. No, they don't want to break even with the win. They want to be 3 goals up.
Well, let's hope they can be, because that would make it a really interesting afternoon for all of us here. We'll be starting the second quarter right now, David.
We're waiting on here, but
the umpire's just doing their counting to make sure the 6-6-6 rule is in place, I reckon.
Okay. Well,
they need the abacus.
They'll need their fingers and toes.
Maybe you can count.
So the ball back in the middle. The umpire's about to start. Well, that's the question we're asking. Grab the ball out there. Love gets the handball away, and they move straight into attack through Tyquin. Goes in there, looking for Meehan. Nice clean pick up. Goes back on the left foot. Goes back towards the goal square. Donoghue out in the lead. Strong hands. Takes a mark. So Donoghue, within the first 15 seconds of this quarter, will go back now and have a shot for goal.
That's the other thing that can happen in this quarter. They can realise what a poor quarter they had with the wind, and they can really move up a gear. And that's a danger to North. Big danger.
Now steps in. Distance, as I said, probably about 20 metres to cover. Angle, not much there, and he's put that straight through the middle. So he's got his first of the afternoon, and now the third for Inverleigh. They're 3-6. They lead North Geelong 1 straight goal, as I said, just less than 1 minute gone in this second quarter.
They've got to come up with an answer already. Like we talked about it, you have a great quarter against the best side of the comp, you got the win, and they just go bang within about a minute and kick a goal, and you think, uh-oh, what do we do now? Do they play the same game? Do they just hang on and try and hang on and go in even at half-time rather than try and kick goals? Because I think if they go on the attack, I think Inverleigh will repel and they might kick a big score against the wind.
So we're back in the middle of the ground. We're just past the 1 minute mark in the Buckley's second quarter. The ball's thrown up. Davis and Wilson, they've competed for most. Wilson gets it over the back to Love. Love can't get away. He's pushed out of the way and is going to receive a free kick.
Advantage.
Umpires have paid advantage. Hutchison kicks into the pocket. It gets past Meehan and the ball through the duel runs over the boundary line. In the practice wickets where Casey Meehan spends a fair bit of the summer here playing cricket for the North Geelong club, but out to Inverleigh to play a football during the winter, and he started off really well. He's been very, very lively for the Hawks in the forward line.
He has. I actually invited him to come down and play seconds cricket with us, but I don't think he wants to play second.
So he comes out of the North Geelong, quick kick down the line, and that's going to be centimetre perfect. Clearing kick, not ugly enough to be penalised for deliberate, but it got exactly the intention, and there'll be a boundary throw in just in front of the Inverleigh coach's box. They lead 3-6-24. North Geelong are 1 goal with 2 minutes into the Buckley's entertainment second quarter. Wilson and Davis. Davis slaps it to Farrell. Farrell can't control it, but it's Davis who picks up the crumb himself, kicks down the line.
Courage.
Oh, it's a very big leap there from Jewel. Kenner it is that, Kenner runs onto the ball, kicks down the line, looking for and finding a teammate there in Parker. And Parker has taken a very good mark, and he is on a left foot. He's going to be in the near perfect position in a breeze like this. He's not going to kick it with his left foot, he's going to kick it with his right. Parker lines up, kicks at the post, and it just fades away.
I think it's a goal.
Perfectly. It's just in line. That is the second goal to the Magpies. 2-12, Inverleigh 3-6-24, 3 minutes into the Buckley's quarter, and that little chap that passed it to him and passed it very well was Devon Humphrey.
Well, they've been, as we said, they've been playing this hang-on football and keep. That was the really first piece of play that looked real good, real flowing and good football. But I tell you what, not to take anything away from the goal, but you saw Rusty Garrard here flow against the pack. He knew he was going to get crunched, and he did. But you can't question his commitment. He showed a lot of courage up here, but to no avail. North got it down beautifully, and who knows? Kick a couple more of that, and we got a game.
Yes, back with the umpire in the middle of the ground. Davis and Wilson doing the ruck work. So the ball about to be thrown in, and it is by the umpire. Both players get a hand on it. Picked up there. Love goes out towards centre wing, back into the hands of Tyquin now, and he delivers the ball back into the half-forward line. Mays leads in the race for the ball. He's able to get round, got a clean pick up, got the handball away, was intercepted out there by a bib. Took a step and looked up and went back towards centre wing. Great kick, and the mark has been taken out there by Jewel. So Jewel has now got the ball just defensive side of the centre wing. Goes in. Rusty Gerard stood his ground and took the mark. And Mark Endor free kick. And he will go back and set things up for Inverleigh. He's got options across the ground. Not too sure whether he wants to come this way, but he's going to come this way now and goes towards Filet. Made him work a little bit, but he's able to take the mark. Nothing ahead of him. Will need to go back inside if he has to. Goes towards centre wing. Haste leads up. Leads in the race for the ball. Ball will run over the boundary line. And we're going to have a throw-in to take place just short of centre wing.
I'm not sure the thinking behind that. He's got all these players out the other side. They change and they switch. And they've got nobody here. I don't think that was the right thing to do at that point.
Looking at the reserve side, they wanted to focus the ball back through the middle, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were trying to play a bit like Belpo still, just open up the middle of the ground, get players to run into it, but they're already in there. So the ball into the hands of Tyquin from Robertson, handballs up over the top, went looking for Wilson. Davis on hands and knees, picks the ball up, got the handball away to Habib, went further forward, picked up this time by Robertson, got the handball back to Gerard again on the left foot, a little short kick towards Hutchison, but it's over the boundary line. Mark has been taken by Swinnerson, but he's not in on the ground at the moment. So free kick will go to Aaron Grant. He goes back inside. Good use. Jewel. He's been okay too, Grub. Jewel.
Yeah, he's a boy from Lara, yeah.
A little bit of size about him, which they probably need here, and he goes long down the line, back towards Kenner. Mark not taken there. Muir had hands on it, went back and recovered, got the handball out to Mo Keith. He went sideways into the hands of Tyquin, and he goes back into the middle ground. That's a good-looking kick straight into the hands. Meehan did not have to break stride. Goes further afield, out towards Mays. He will continue to run, got options, and Burke runs into the hole, but he left it for Donoghue. Gets around, needs to get rid of the ball. Good tackle.
Hold the ball.
I thought it would have been. Umpire says deliberate. I think he's played for out of bounds. So free kick's going to go to the North Geelong side. And he's going to take a risk and come across the goal, but that's okay because it's straight into the hands of Grant. Takes the mark and plays on. Goes looking for Davis. Worked hard, let himself down there. Just couldn't hang on to the ball. And the ball runs over the boundary line. So we'll have a throw-in to take place.
So where's Mitch Habib playing?
Well, I think he's playing up the ground, Grub. He's definitely not playing as a forward.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, he looks a very competent footballer. He's been pigeonholed as a full forward, but he looks very handy around the ground, I reckon. Ball's thrown in Davison, where Wilson gets it over the back, this time to Manganelli. He gets a hand pass back to Tyquin. Tyquin across to the Mason-Dixon line. He kicks into the middle of the ground, looking for a teammate there in Ward. Ward's quickly hand pass back across to Haste, who's been really good, the young fella, so far this afternoon on the wing. McEwen Walsh evades a tackle. Quick hand pass to Meehan. Meehan drops it into...
they're everywhere out there. Where's the defence?
Mason Dixon, who competed down here in front of us and then sprinted back into that space at centre half forward, and he will now have a shot for goal. Directly in front, maybe 35 metres out.
Wow.
Or a bit further, probably 40 he'll kick from.
They've just let him wander in.
So,
Mason Dixon.
The Mason-Dixon line.
You boys want to pull those pistols or whistle Dixie?
So Dixon now coming in for a very set shot. First time we've seen the young fella have a shot for goal. It's terribly, and just got in for a point on the right-hand side. It come off awfully, very much a helicopter. And 1 point only to Inverleigh there, 3-7-25. North Geelong 2 straight goals. That is the Buckley's Entertainment School.
They won the Union Army, won the war, Rob. Shots like that.
Very much so. Farrell can't hold the mark. It wobbles out the back. Burke gets it. The hand passes it to himself and then kicks into the forward pocket looking for and finding Donoghue. And he's on the wrong angle, so he centres the ball into the forward line, and there coming out to take the mark is Robertson for Inverleigh. And he will be 45-degree angle, about 25 metres out from goal.
Well, I think he was named as their best player last week, Ryan Robertson. So he's a good player.
Yeah, oh yeah. Him and Hutchie and Jared Love look all similar, all left footers too.
Yeah, and all dangerous.
So Robertson having another deliberate shot. They've been a little wasteful so far. 3-7 on the board, but Robertson comes in very correctly.
He's
but
missed
it's
too,
faded across to the left. And a 1 point only again, 3-8-26. North Geelong are 2 goals straight, 12. 9 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
The ball will be brought in from fullback position. And this time he brings in a clubroom side. He's got some options out here. Goes towards Farrell. That's a great kick, well weighted. And the mark has been taken by Farrell. Let's hope he gets a full season in this year. Ball, a little bit too much weight. Swenson got the hand on it, got in out of trouble. Oh, yes, he was about to kick it. Tackle from behind. Umpire says that was high.
He got him a bit high. Yeah.
Going to win a free kick. So Swenson is going to win the free kick.
A good tackle there would have been holding the ball, but and it wasn't. Good decision up.
So Swenson wasn't ready. He had it for a start, but he's got the ball now and decides to deliver the ball straight down the line towards Davis. Violet comes in, gets ball to ground, picked up Templeton, couldn't handle it cleanly. Goes looking for, and will Smith, he can't pick the ball up either. Templeton went back and tried to collect the ball again. Grundle's in there, gets the handball away, in towards Tyquin. Again, there's numbers with North Geelong, and it comes out the back. Farrell's got his head bandaged, and he's put his head over the ball once again. This time it's not going to come out. Umpire has to take position, mate. And that's what he's going to do. So he will have a ball up pretty much on the point of the square. North Geelong's attacking end. Oh, again, doing some good work at the present time, just being able to maintain it. Davis, and they go at it, picked up by Manganelli. Handball comes out, goes towards Robertson on the left boot, looks up, goes forward. Meehan leads up again, and he takes another mark. So Meehan's next option will be Donoghue. Now he comes at him. That's the direction he goes in. Going back with the ball, flight of the ball. Marcus not taken there. Again at ground level. North Geelong have got some numbers back, but they need the support. It picks up Brockenshire. He brings the ball back outside. Mark, will it be taken? Manganelli gets a hand in. Umpire said he hit the arm.
Chop the arm.
Free kick will go to Marnie. So Marnie now on the half-back line for North Geelong. Looks at his options inside, will go short. Mark is taken this time by Dalziel. And he's going to go further afield. Farrell's made some good space out there by himself. Kick was okay. He didn't quite take the mark. He put it down, picked up there by Tyquin. Left boot, went back inside looking for Dixon. He picks the ball up, has a little bit of time. Look forward. Meehan's the target, and he will take the mark. Left side, left foot up. He will go back and shoot for goal.
Will he?
Of course he will.
He's looking and looking and looking.
He can look all you like, but he'll go back and shoot for goal.
Mate,
he was very good in the first quarter. He's been outstanding in this quarter.
Yeah, left footer for me. He'll go for the goal. I tell you, did you see him just read that and lose his opponent? That's just sheer skill.
So Casey Meehan for the afternoon has 1-1.
Make it 2-1. Put it in the book now,
2-1 right now. Kick comes in, and he has missed everything altogether, Grub. Now he's got one. Oh, no, he says he's just snuck it in for a behind. So it's 1-2. So some wasted opportunity here. 3-9 Inverleigh. They lead North Geelong, who are 2 straight. Commonwealth Hotel, second quarter scoreboard.
That would be the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard, but Commonwealth Hotel did their good work in the first quarter. Dalton
not by me. It's always Buckley's in the first.
Kicks the ball forward, but it's intercepted by North Geelong. They do a very good job there through Grant. He kicks down the line and finds Farrell, who's been very busy since having his head bandaged up. He pushes it across, back to Farrell, dodges a player, evades another tackle, kicks down the line, looking for Smith, goes over his head, and running onto the ball for Inverleigh. He's tackled immediately. No one's going anywhere. We're going to have a ball up. No, the umpire has said you have penalised North Geelong there. Not quite sure what all that was about.
Neither am I.
Inverleigh have got the ball again. Another switch right across the ground and across. They've found in the opposite forward pocket Muir. Muir kicks down the line, looking for Ward. Ward's got plenty of space, takes time.
Oh,
but
shocker.
The ball's been intercepted by Jewell, who's had a really good game for the Magpies. He's got the ball just forward of centre wing, looking for some options. Not too many, plenty of Inverleigh numbers back. There's a little pass, drops in and finds Park. No, it's Smith. Smith wheels round on the left foot and kicks long into the forward line, heading in the right direction. And coming across to take an intercepting mark is Muir. Gets it into the back pocket to Templeton. Templeton over the top to Gerard. He kicks in the middle of the ground. Coming out, taking on the bounce is Follett. He kicks down onto the centre wing looking for Mays. Mays tries to punch it forward to the advantage of Tyquin, but North Geelong quickly onto the job of, and Tyquin lays a very good tackle to win the ball back. He's won the free kick right on centre wing for Inverleigh.
That's bloody disappointing, that kick down there. He kicked it straight to an Inverleigh player. I don't know where the forwards were. They didn't get back. I don't know.
Anyway, Tyquin's quick, doesn't quite hit the mark. Davis comes out for North Geelong, kicks it across very quickly to his teammate in Henderson. He kicks down the line, punched away from North Geelong. Coming out there is Swenninson, I think. He can't get away. He's tackled to the ground, and we're going to have another ball up. Right on centre wing, far side of the ground. We are looking at the Buckley's Entertainment scoreboard. It's 2 goals to North Geelong, 3-9 to Inverleigh, 14 minutes into the second quarter.
So the ball's thrown up again by the umpire. This time it's tapped down. Again, North Geelong with taking possession of the ball.
That's too high.
High tackle, correct there, Grub. And free kick will go to North Geelong, far side of the ground.
Jewell,
yeah, again, he's picked the ball up and he goes quickly into their forward line, but he's going to kick it straight to Jack Fry.
Oh, that's disappointing again. What's going on with their forwards?
Look at the numbers down there, Grub. There's about 6 Inverleigh blokes and 3 of theirs, so the ball's going to end up with Inverleigh. Muir gets it, goes by hand to Templeton. Templeton back inside, and the mark will be taken there by Finn O'Keefe. He goes out wide, back to Templeton. Player further down the field is Mays. Can chip and run if he wants to, over the top, and he will go that way, and Haste takes the mark. So now Haste has got Hutchison's further afield, hasn't looked in that direction just yet, wants to go back inside. Again, looking at his options, decides to go along the boundary line, goes towards Meehan, good spoil from behind, ball hits the ground, picked up by Grundle, got the handball away, well, half handball, anyway, picked up by Bib, and he puts the ball back towards centre wing. O'Keefe goes across and takes the mark. So O'Keefe now, he looks to cross the ground, and that's a well-weighted kick, a great kick actually, straight into the hands of Filet. He plays on and goes into their forward line. It's going to be a free kick down the field, is it? I didn't hear the whistle.
Yep.
Looks like Dixon's going to be the recipient, so it's going to be Dixon from inside the forward 50, a low flat click. That's a great kick and good hands from Donoghue. He takes the mark and he will go back and have a shot for goal. Has one for the afternoon.
Why didn't he kick it like that when he went for goal? Mason
no
Dixon stabbing it like that, would have went straight through the middle. That was a beautiful kick.
You see the blokes at AFL level, they kick the field, around the field, no worries. As soon as you put it in front of goal, they go to water.
Well, that's what happened to young Mason Dixon. He looked like he couldn't kick at all, and he produces a gem like that.
Anyway, Donoghue has got a shot at goal. He's only 20 metres out and not much of an angle to work into. So he will just go back, kick at goal. Looks okay off the boot. Straight into the post. So he has 1 goal, 1 for the afternoon. Inverleigh now to 3-10. And North Geelong on 2 straight goals. We have gone almost 16 minutes. Second quarter, Commonwealth Hotel, second quarter scoreboard.
What they're doing here is actually keeping North in the game.
Yes.
The game could have been over by now if they kick straight.
13 shots to 2 was probably not a true indication of how things have gone, but they could have certainly buried them. North Geelong play on from fullback, kick down the line, looking for Jewell, but over the back is Wilson. He can't get control of the ball. The ball comes out to Hutchison. We haven't called him much. Burke drops it, but gets away very quickly. Just tackled, although he did kick it. I'm not quite sure why he was penalised.
Well, he was called for holding the ball, and unfortunately the umpire was wrong this time.
So
he got a boot to it.
It is Habib kicks down the line, looking for his teammate there in Best, but it's dribbled over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. It's right in front of the Inverleigh coaches box, and we look at the scoreboard, 28-12, 17 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter. Waiting for the boundary throw in again. It's Davis and Wilson who've contested most for the afternoon. Wilson gets the front position. The umpire's blown the whistle, and we're going to have a rethrow. Deemed it to be too shallow. One side advantage more than the other. So we'll go back and play again.
That's better.
Thrown up beautifully.
Good girl.
Davis gets it away, but it's intercepted by Inverleigh. It's O'Keefe who's got the ball. He kicks directly across the ground looking for Filet. He's found him at true centre half back. A neat little kick from him out into the pocket, finds Templeton on the bounce. He's got plenty of time, and the neat little pass from him down the line to Manganelli. Oh, he can't quite grab it on the half volleys into his back, and he's going to get a free kick anyway. Very poor tackle there by North Geelong's Henderson. What?
Below the knees, he's paid.
Below the knees, he paid. He grabbed his leg.
Oh, that's unusual.
I think it's right.
So
I think it's right. That's how the rules read.
Henderson into the middle of the ground, finds a bib. He's got a loose man here on the half forward flank, running onto the ball now, but he'll need to work very, very hard. That's Dalziel. He's lost the ball, and Wilson's got it off him and forced an error, and it's now out of bounds for a throw-in, and that is a big save for Inverleigh because North had plenty of space there. Heading into attack, they could have set something up there, but we're back to an even ball game.
It was too far away for me to see exactly what happened, Rob, but that is the rule. I don't know if he got it right or not.
Yeah, but looked a bit odd from that distance. Jewell, who's done a very good job, grabs it, kicks a long, high ball right into the dangerous position.
Oh,
and that
Stevie
is a very
Rickett, beauty!
The boys were mentioning that this fella's already had a game in the second.
Yeah, he'd be second favourite player behind Lukey Parker.
And he's taken a very strong mark against 2 Inverleigh opponents. But this will be the difficult thing. Can he convert from this difficult angle? Ricketts comes in, drops it on the foot nicely, and the umpire has decided that is going to be a goal to the North Geelong side. They're third for the afternoon. They've kicked 3 straight. Inverleigh are 3 goals, 10. So a 10-point margin, but 13 scoring shots to 3. We're 19 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
Look, I suppose he's getting on a little bit, but you've got to realise that Stevie Ricketts been a damn good player in GDFNL football.
Especially when it's in the air grub.
Yeah, he's a multi-interleague footballer who's been a very, very, very good player. The last time I saw a bloke play both firsts and seconds was Darryl Bissett many years ago. He was best on the ground in the seconds. They called him up, and he got best on the ground in the first after being out in the grog till 2 o'clock in the morning. That'll never be matched.
So the ball now thrown back up by the umpire again. Both are up and get a hand on it. Comes out the back. Grundle gets, it was Tyquin, got the handball away. Went towards Robertson, goes back into the forward line. Cad Welsh comes up. McEwen Welsh, and he plays on quickly, goes quickly. And the mark it won't be taken. So Inverleigh are asked to play on there with Ward. He goes back inside, goes looking towards Donoghue. But again,
that's a
Dixon,
strong mark.
good strong hands. I didn't know what to think of this bloke in the first quarter, but his second quarter has been pretty good. Yeah. And he's got a good pair of hands.
By hands, his feet haven't been that great yet.
Not that great, but this will test him again, Grub. So Mason Dixon, he will have a chance to kick his first goal of the afternoon. Inverleigh only have 3, as do North Geelong, but the 10 points currently separates them. So Dixon from directly in front of goal, and again, only 20-metre kick. Kicks that goal.
He's missed another one, I think.
He has, and it's through for another minor score.
Goodness gracious.
Geez, goal kicking practice, Rusty, on Tuesday.
3-11. 3-11 to Inverleigh, and North Geelong 3 straight goals. Just over 21 minutes gone in this second quarter.
Wow, actually, I can't believe they've kicked the same amount of goals, these two sides. It's just unbelievable.
So North Geelong have the ball at full-back, waiting for some options. And there's a long, low kick into the forward pocket, but it's gone over the intended recipient and landed in the chest of Burke for Inverleigh. He kicks long and low back, looking for and finding Dixon, who takes a really strong mark. He's second within a couple of minutes, and he'll have his third shot at goal. He's botched the first two.
Oh, he wants to give it away too.
He was looking for a shot.
Mate, go back, take your time, and kick the goal.
Just stab at it, son.
Well, yeah, he wants to kick it like he kicked that pass. It'll be right through the middle. I think he'll kick this one. I think he'll kick this one.
It's about time. His third attempt. Has he learnt from the first two, or has he just become more nervous? We're about to find out. It's off Dixon's boot, and this time he shanks it to the opposite side. 2 to the fader to the left, 1 to the right. Inverleigh 3, 12-30. North Geelong 3 straight 18, 22 minutes.
I think he's overcompensated. I'll go to the other side. He's gone too far.
Anyway, it's almost laughable now. 15 shots to 3. We're 22 minutes now into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter. North have the ball again from full-back. It's a long kick looking for Farrell. He's up over the back of the pack, can't hold it. McEwen Walsh gets it. Hand pass in a hurry. Back to Farrell, though. He's kicked into the middle of the ground and finds Bruns for North Geelong. Can they mount something here? They've been very tenacious and dogged all afternoon, but they just haven't been able to get too much system together. He's been forced wide, and it's gone across to the halfback flank. Another short kick down the line, looking for Parker, and found him.
He won't kick short.
Parker's kicked along, right underneath it, down into the forward line. Up the back of the pack is Ricketts. He can't hold the ball. Punched away from him. Coming out is Grundle. Grundle across to Tyquin. Tyquin to file it by hand. Back to Myers in the middle ground. Intercepted by Mitch Abib. He wheels around on the right foot, kicks long into the forward line. Waiting back there. And
he had it there, Davis. Jeez.
Just bounced through for 1 point. Their first minor score of the afternoon. 3-1-19. Inverleigh 3-12-30. 23 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter. Middle of the ground now for Inverleigh. Coming out take the mark is Wilson on the half-back flank.
It was Aaron Best. He used his body beautifully, and I thought he'll mark this, and he just couldn't grab it.
Wilson's forced to play on. He dodges around Henderson on the mark.
Come on, son.
Kicks down the line, looking for Dixon. Coming over is Davis, who does a really good job. Burke and Farrell.
Bit high, Daniel.
Farrell will definitely have a key kick. Yeah. He's already wrapped around the head. He's been very lively this afternoon for the Magpies. He's done a hell of a good job. Very talented player. 5 goals last week.
Who did he play for, Smithy?
Who?
Charlie Farrell.
He's always been here as a kid, but he went to Bell Park.
Bell Park, yeah.
He had trouble with his hammies.
So in the middle of the ground now is Reynolds. Kicks further down the line, and Rickett has come right up from full forward. He's almost in the centre of the ground. Kicks low, looking for and finding
good
Parker.
Crap.
So there's Grubby's 2 favourites in a passage of play there.
Well, 3 years before COVID, mate, he put this straight through the middle.
Oh, just about. In these conditions.
No, not just about. He would have. I just don't know how the strings are.
Well, I'll tell you another thing with Rickett. He played in the seconds. He's not the fittest of all time. He's the bloke that could go and help the big bloke in the ruck.
Well, Parker's given that a fair thump, but it's just offline.
They need an out of bounds here.
For one behind. 3-2-20 North Geelong, and they've dominated the play in the last minute and a half, 2 minutes. It'd be very good for them if they could get a goal and put the fear of goodness into the Inverleigh camp if they go in at half time less than a goal up. They've been really disappointing, actually, the Hawks, with their system. Out into the half-back flank, kick down the line, looking for Grundle. It takes 2 grabs at it, takes it. Quick hand pass across to Mays. No, it wasn't Mays. Kicks down the line. It's Meehan coming out, stabs a neat little pass, and Manganelli comes out. This is more like the Inverleigh we expected. Manganelli wheels around his left foot, looking for Donohue's palmed away from him just as he went to grab it, coming over the back of the pack, kicking quickly, but hitting the post was, who's that? It was Love. Jared Love has hit the post. So we're now 3:13, Inverleigh 31. North Geelong 3-2, 25 minutes into the Buckley's Hotel second quarter.
So the ball comes out in the game. This time over the top is Hayes. Gets the handball out the block to Finn O'Keefe. He's tackled, brought to ground. Umpire says it's a bit too high, and that's going to go to O'Keefe. He plays on quickly, goes back inside looking for Manganelli. Over the top, the ball comes at ground level, picked up cleanly. Actually, it was Mays who had it, but then was legged, says the umpire. So Nathan Mays will go back. He wins another free kick, and he will shoot for goal. He's going to get the ball and go once he's been given it. No, he wasn't. The umpire says he's handed it back very slowly. So Nathan Mays. They need to kick a goal because the points line's filled up.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, he is a good kicker of the football normally, but I don't know what's happening out here today.
Yes, anyway, we'll wait and see. So Nathan Mays steps in. That's
the way to kick him, son.
And that has gone straight through. So Inverleigh now get their fourth goal. Nathan Mays his second, and they move to 4 goals 13. They lead North Geelong on 3-2, and we've gone almost 27 minutes in this second quarter. Come on, Finn Hotel second quarter scoreboard.
Well, I thought it was imperative they sort of hang on and hopefully kick another one, but now it's very important for this last maybe 3 or 4 minutes that they hang on and don't let Inverleigh score another goal and go in with that just little bit of confidence of not being too far behind. But you've got to be careful with Inverleigh because they might go bang, bang, kick 2 more, and then you're gone. So they've really got to concentrate for this last few minutes and just do the best they can to go in as what they are now.
Shouldn't be a long quarter, I wouldn't have thought, the way they've gone. So they've probably only got a minute or so left.
And out at Bannockburn are 41, Corio 10. That's half time.
So Davis and Wilson. Wilson gets it this time. Tycoon grabs it, but it's intercepted by
Carricksay.
Carricksay, yeah. Well, there you go. They've held
down the line. There is the siren. And I would have thought it'd be a fairly happy North Geelong camp with that first half. 3-2-20. Inverleigh a disappointing 4-13-37. And some goal kickers, and we'll go back to the studio for a little bit of a break.
Yep, so goal kickers to the first half is North Geelong, Luke Parker, Steve Rickett and Mitch Abib will have 1 each, and for Inverleigh, Nathan Mays with 2, 1 each to Donohue and Casey Meehan. Take a short break when we come back. 7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Yeah, look, I have, but I think the main reason I'm happy with the Magpies is the fact that Inverleigh are kicking atrociously. And I think, 17 shots to 5. The game should be a lot more in favour of Inverleigh, but they've hung in North Geelong. See, as soon as if you kick a few goals here and there, you just drop your enthusiasm. But when you kick points, the opposition's enthusiasm stays where it is. Before the bounce, if I can find my glasses, Anarchy at 2-1-13, Thomson 6-16-52, Werribee 3-6-24, East 9-6-60, Bannockburn at 41 to Cryo 10, and Belmont 3-4-22, Trail Bellpost Hill 12-3-75. They're the straight kickers of the day, Bellpost Hill.
The nerve's been pricked. Well, let's start the third quarter here at the North Geelong Oval. The Grandy Sports Cycle. Away.
Yes, ball is with the umpire in the middle of the ground. As we said, play about to restart. Both ruckmen go at it this time. Wilson up over the top. And it was going to be cleared away there by the player from North Geelong, but he got tackled, brought to ground. And the umpire says the ball is not going to come out of the contest, so he wants it back. So another ball up to take place right in the middle of the ground. Umpire throws it up once again. This time Wilson up over the top, goes towards Tycoon, went back and recovered. Handball goes off into the hands of O'Keefe. He goes into the forward line again, coming out. Donahue overran the ball, gets through a couple, ends up in the hands of Bruns. Got the handball away. It was okay because Reynolds is there, looks along the boundary line. Kick will be okay. Mark taken just in the field of play. This is by Dylan Fisher. So Fisher now is defensive, just in his defensive circle at the club room is into the ground. He goes along the boundary line. Kick wasn't too bad, was out in front, but Smith couldn't pick the ball up. Ball runs over the boundary line, and it's going to be a throw-in to take place.
Right in front of the commentary box here, the 94.7, the Pulse commentary box. We are in the Grandy Cycle and Sport third quarter, as we've called most of the day. Davis and former North Geelong player Wilson. Wilson gets 2 goes at it, to Tyquin, to Burke by hand. Back across there to Ward. He kicks into the centre half forward position, and standing almost unattended to take a chest mark is Nathan Mays, who's already kicked 2 for this afternoon, the only multiple goal kicker in the contest. And he's going to shot for goal from kicking from about 45 metres out directly in front.
And could well have 3. He's a pretty good kick, as we've said before.
So Mays will have a wind, not necessarily at his back, it'll be favouring his end, but coming in at about 45 degrees. He'll need to aim for the left goal post,
and that's
what
exactly
what he's done. The wind curves it round straight through the middle, and that is the 5th goal for Inverleigh. They've started off each quarter with a goal very, very quickly, but then not much else after that. But that takes them to 5-13 now, to North Geelong 3-2, 2 minutes into the third quarter.
Well, they've started the first, second and third quarter, as you said, with quick goals. And each time North Geelong's been able to fight back. This is the quarter they have to fight back, when that breeze is probably stiffening and strengthening a little bit. This is the quarter they've got to just fight and fight and fight, and maybe go in 3 or 4 goals down if they can at three-quarter time. But on the other side of the coin, if they get going, I reckon Donahue and Dion Miles would have really given them stick at half time, and I've got a funny feeling they could kick a big score unless North just hang on for dear life.
Certainly know about North Geelong's pre-season, because we saw evidence last week that the longer the game went, the stronger Inverleigh got, and that'll be the important thing, hanging in. Davis and Wilson again. Jewell intercepts the tap, kicks it down forward. Rickett does a very good job to keep the ball in front of his team's advantage over the back of the pack in kicking forward for North Geelong, looking for Parker. Comes over the back of the pack, still at Parker's advantage, but Fowler uses his body really, really well. Across to Muir. He kicks down the line, but poorly. Henderson comes out for North Geelong. He's knocked out of the way very easily. Tyquin comes through, kicks back into the middle of the ground to Templeton. Templeton slaps it onto his boot, drives it forward for Inverleigh, bounces over the back of the pack. Mays again gets it across to Robertson. He kicks forward looking for Donahue. It's McHugh. Walsh gets it, slaps it onto the left foot, but doesn't go very far. Donahue lays a tackle, but it's a neat little kick from Bruns, releases the pressure for North Geelong. Hand pass in the middle of the ground to Davis. He dodges a couple, kicks it across ground and finds Henderson on centre wing for North Geelong, and they try and mount something again. Henderson's neat little kick into the forward line, looking for Farrell, but it's a poor delivery, and it's run over the boundary line in front of the Inverleigh coach's box, where we see the scoreboard 3-2-20 North Geelong, 5-13 Inverleigh, 4 minutes into the third quarter.
Dalton got a little bit quiet.
Who?
Dalton.
Yeah, he's back centre back now, I think. He's gone back to play on Ricketts. So the ball comes out of the ruck contest, goes back towards the centre wing. Robinson didn't have the get control of the ball. Handball comes over the top from Burke. Coming the other way, Reynolds did that nicely, but Tyquin's now over the top of the ball. Ball comes out. Kevin McEwen-Walsh picks the ball up, got the handball away. Went as far as Hutchison. He picks it up, and high tackle, says the umpire, and he will go back and win their free kick. So Hutchison now with the ball looks towards Donohue. Nice kick out in front. Donohue just had hands on it, picked up by Burke to Mays. Mays went across the ground, saw Wilson out there by himself. It's a good spoil there from behind, and it's North Geelong scoring the free kick. Free kick will go to, and I think it might be Dylan Fisher. It is, so he wins the free kick, and that's deep in the defence. So Fisher now decides to come across the ground. We'll find Reynolds in some space by himself. Goes around the boundary line. Best leads up at him. That's a great kick.
That's
good
two
mark.
really good
Yep,
kicks from
good
Sam Reynolds.
Yep, they've kept it going now, so they need to keep ball flowing. Goes towards centre wing. Set Charlie Farrell a bit of a task, and over the top,
mark.
Templeton. He takes the mark. Was looking back inside. So Templeton with the ball now from centre wing. Defensive side goes long. Actually, I don't know who's kicking it to, but it's probably the bloke over the fence because that's where it nearly went.
Might be Philpott.
Yes, he might be leading from the bench.
He's still in there eating cakes and pies. Don't worry about that.
So again, it's best that's the recipient of that free kick. Ball out of bounds. Goes across the ground.
No.
Going back towards the goal square. Donohue there just picks the ball up, and he will kick the goal. Unfortunately, that is not inconvenient, but it's just a poor kick. And Adam Donohue seized on the opportunity. He has kicked his second goal of the afternoon, and the sixth goal now for Inverleigh. They're 6-13, 3-2 to North Geelong. 6 minutes gone. The Grandy Cyclone Sports third quarter.
You see blokes go back all the time in league footy, and you go, "Oh, I hate that way they play." And you know what? When that happens, you just start to think, "Hey, don't do it again. Come forward. Even if you don't kick it well, it'll go over the boundary line here." But he gave Sam Reynolds no chance. He just kicked it over his head, and Donohue was going to kick that goal as soon as the North Geelong boy kicked it.
Grubby, I want to ask you, Donohue's playing basically as an old-fashioned full forward today. Is that a waste of talent?
It is, but it won't happen when he's plays the better sides, I don't think. He'll go up and play off half-back and play in the middle. Although I think he might have done it last week. I think he might have played predominantly forward last week.
Yeah, I think he has been.
Is he carrying something? You never know.
Yeah, with the wealth of what they've got up the ground, mate, I don't think he needs to be up there.
No, they've got a lot of talent up there.
So the ball from the middle of the ground goes to Manganelli, to Tyquin, got the handball away, and again it's Burke that runs from the centre wing, looks across the ground. That's good use of the ball, and it goes towards Filet. He's asked to play now by the umpire. He goes sideways. Running player is Finn O'Keefe. He's got a player over the top. He goes short, goes towards Haste. He can take it and also continue on if he wants to. Looks up and goes into the forward line over the top of Meehan, but out in front is Love. So Love now swings on the left boot. Where's his next option? Long goes back towards Cad McEwen-Walsh. He's under the ball. Mark not taken. Good spoil from behind. Picked up Swenson. Little looping handball over the top. Brockenshire was taken high. Didn't get a free kick. Ends up in the hands there of Farrell. He's shut down from behind, and he will win the free kick. And it's going to go to Inverleigh and Ward. So Ward now with the free kick. Outside 50, so it's too far out for him to score. And North Geelong with some numbers back now, so he's going to have to find a target across the ground. He reckons he can kick the goal by the looks of him lining up here. He lines up, and
my goodness.
by the time it left the boot, it never goes that way. Donohue takes the ball, gets in and out of trouble. I'll tell you what, he needs to get rid of it. He did.
Well, let's hold the ball.
Yep, good decision. The umpire now says play on as Bruns gives the handball to Farrell. Farrell goes back inside, and again they've done nicely. And it winds up in the hands of Bruns once again. Kick towards the bib. It's turned over. The mark has been taken out there by Brown. He goes quickly back inside to Wilson, looking for some running plays, and he's got some across the ground. Burke was the target. Nice pick up and puts the ball back into the forward line. Again, contest. Davis can't take it. Runs through the contest, and North Geelong knock it through for another behind. So it is now 6-14 to the Inverleigh side, 3-2 to North Geelong 3. That's just over 8 minutes gone in this third quarter.
We're in the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter here at the North Geelong Oval, and the Magpies come out of defence, kick down the middle, and Jewell takes the mark. At true centre half back for North Geelong, he's been definitely one of their better players today. Done a very good job roaming across half back and through the middle of the ground. He goes backwards again.
They won't learn these blokes.
and they're just trying to find some options. But I reckon that Inverleigh have just ramped the pressure up a little bit since that half-time rev. It's Swenninson. He kicks into the middle of the ground looking for Bruns, who takes the mark under a fair bit of pressure. And another short kick finds his teammate in Grant. Grant goes out wide, and Farrell, who's still working very hard, got caught earlier, takes a bounce, kicks neatly down and finds his teammate in Nathan Clark. And he's on true centre wing now. Another short kick into the middle of the ground. That is danger, and that's been marked by O'Keefe. He punches the ball very quickly back, but that is a poor kick. It's kicked to the advantage of North Geelong. Brockenshire's got the ball. He falls over at the bad time, drops it again, gets back to his feet, drops it again. He's tackled, drops it again. The umpire said play on. Donahue clears the pack to Meehan. Meehan slaps it quickly on his foot, but it's going to be out of bounds in the forward pocket. That was a classic comedy of errors, if ever you've seen one. 50 plays 20, sorry. We're 10 minutes into the third quarter, the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter.
It started off with the North Geelong bloke down here. He goes into the centre. You don't go into the middle against the best side in the comp against the wind. Keep it boundary side.
Very much so. McEwen Walsh slaps it, but it bounces off hands, and there'll be a secondary throw-in from exactly the same spot. McEwen Walsh in battle in the ruck with Beecroft. So the other two ruckmen are staying a kick behind play. So McEwen Walsh doing the work in the forward line for Inverleigh. Can't get to front position. Beecroft gets it down in front of a teammate. Quick hand pass over the back to Reynolds. Reynolds kicks it forward, but dribbles over the boundary line. And we'll have another throw in. It's got a little bit boring and unsavoury in the last few minutes, this game of footy, so hopefully it can liven up again.
We don't do this very often, but St Joey's are only 10 points in front of North Shore at half-time.
Ooh.
It's certainly improved.
So
very much so.
Ball with me, and he goes out and kick back towards goal. It gets back towards goal, and it's a nice finish, and I think that's O'Keefe out on the far side. He has his first goal of the afternoon. And Inverleigh move now to 7-14. They lead North Geelong on 3-2. And as I said, Burke with his first. So they're starting to stretch the margin now, Grub. And the North Geelong need to hold on.
Pernell. Yeah, look, they're trying to hold on. There's no doubt about that. But as I said before, if you're trying to hold on when the best side in the comp's got the win, and you try these funny little kicks that gave Swenninson absolutely no chance in the finish. Keep it boundary side, come in at centre half forward.
So up the ball goes in the middle. Davis wins a tap to Swenninson, kicks it very quickly across his body to Karaskay. He can't get clear of the pack. The umpire said there's been a trip.
Kicking in danger, I think he meant.
Kicking in danger, and taking the kick for North Geelong is Marnie. Marnie's looking for some options. It's a very short one. It's to Davis, who's out closer to the boundary line, still on the centre wing. Big fella's looking for options. There's an awful lot of brown and gold in front of him. He wheels around now and kicks into the forward pocket, looking for Ricketts, and he takes a really good mark. I think that was right on the boundary line. He plays on very quickly now, kicks long towards true full forward, but it is a nest of Inverleigh players, and McEwen Walsh takes the mark. Kicks out into the pocket and finds his captain, Follett. He hand passes very quickly. Burke kicks down the line looking for and finding Casey Meehan, who was played pretty well this afternoon. He kicks into the middle of the ground. Coming out strongly is Tyquin. Can't get away, but he gets a very quick hand pass out to Mays. Mays hand passes quickly to a teammate who's immediately tackled. And I think we're going to have a ball up right on the point of the square. Inverleigh slightly in attack. They lead 56-20. Nearly 13 minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter.
That's my new bugbear. You see, when umpire fails to call play on quick enough, and the North Geelong bloke just ran down, the Inverleigh bloke won't allow to tackle him. They've got to do it quickly.
So the ball is thrown up. This time McEwen Walsh gets the ball out the back. Finn O'Keefe was running onto the ball, but it's picked up time. This time Best tries to force his way through. Did nicely. Went towards Swenninson. He couldn't pick it up. O'Keefe was back there. Picked up by Habib. He goes forward again. Mark not quite taken. Picked up Grundle. Goes back by hand. Has Filet there and back further to Templeton. He looks up and chips the ball towards centre wing. Hutchison and can go, but he decides to hold up. Got the handball away to Robertson. Robertson now round the boundary line with a little bit of space now. Looks long, goes down towards me, and a kick was well weighted, but over the back. The mark, I would have thought was taken, but must have been touched by a player in front. And there's going to be a ball in to take place inside forward 54 Inverleigh. Dixon looks like he's going to do some ruck work now. Habib's did the ruck work for North Geelong. He taps it back towards the boundary line, chases after it once again. Ball goes back over, and there will be another throw in a similar position.
So we've got a throw in now, forward pocket for Habib. Goes up into the ruck with Dixon. Coming out the back of the pack, Meehan. Quick hand pass across to a teammate. Further hand pass back to Dixon. Left foot kick across his body. Bounces in the square for Donahue, but over the top of him and through for one behind. The 15th for the Hawks this afternoon. 7:15:57. North Geelong 3-2-20. 14 and a half minutes into the Grandy's third quarter. Just waiting for the ball to come back. It's gone a fair way over into the back of the ground there. And we're waiting for Dylan Fisher now to kick the ball back in for the Magpies. A lot of action on the interchange bench today, right in front of us. Fisher kicks down to the middle of the ground, looking for and finding his teammate there in Marnie. Marnie kicks out a bit wider in the pocket. Ball's kicked down the line again, and again this short kicking is okay, but if you don't get it right, Ward has kicked forward. Dixon can't quite take the mark. Coming strongly through at the back of the pack is North Geelong pick up the crumbs.
Come on, umpire, you got to watch that.
There's a little bit of a battle in the back pocket there between...
threw him straight into the point post.
Meehan and a couple of North Geelong players. And it's still going on the corner. Young Dixon's happy to accommodate anyone at the moment. I don't think there's anything too untoward there, but we've got play back on the half-forward flank. We're about to have a throw-in again. Davis, who's done an outstanding job in the ruck, gets a left hand onto it again, but coming across, kicking across his body is Love. Reynolds comes out for North Geelong. Hand passes it across to a teammate, but intercepted again. It's Hutchison for Inverleigh. Picks up, snaps back over his shoulder, but it's gone right across the face of goal. And it is out on the full in Inverleigh's forward pocket. They've been a bit ragged just that last kick into the goal this quarter. They've dominated a fair bit of the play, but they're not taking advantage on the scoreboard at all. So it's a bib, I think, in the back pocket. Kicks across goal again. Finds his team over on the other side, and that is Beecroft. He kicks down all bad. Bounce in front of Grant, but he kicks away. I hear a whistle going. Everything stopped. Not quite sure what's happening. Did he cross the boundary line there?
Here comes my second favourite player.
Yeah, the ball has been deemed to be out of bounds, and it'll be a throw in there in the back pocket for North Geelong. Habib gets the tap over the back of the pack. Coming through very strongly is O'Keefe. Kicks across his body. The umpire underneath it, but again, a minor score to the right. 16 times we've had a minor score for Inverleigh to match their 7 goals. They're 59-20. 17 minutes into the Grandy third quarter. Dale, they've been very wasteful in the last few minutes.
Yeah, I think I know what they were doing for training this week. They're probably lucky the opposition is not on their hot in their tails at the moment. But anyway, they're having a battle out there and they're doing a pretty good job. Ball goes in quickly. Again, it's turned over. Donahue kicks the ball along the ground and it runs back over the boundary line. So we'll have another ball in. Inverleigh maintaining that ball in their forward half. So about to be thrown back in by the umpire now. She does so. Dixon in front. Ball comes down, goes back towards the boundary line. Again, the Bibs there working pretty hard. North Geelong with a couple of players around the contest. They get the ball out the back. Brockenshire. He gives the handball, ends up in the hands there of Jewell, who puts the boot to ball, goes back towards centre wing. Wilson's out the back. Going back was young player there in Stevens. Couldn't take the mark, but he ends up with it. Handball's back inside to Love. Love now looks on the left boot. Little chip kick into the half-forward line over the head of Hutchison. Habib's there, and he will again see the ball back over the boundary line, and we're going to have another throw-in to take place.
Well, this has got very difficult to look at in the last few minutes. Very, very scrappy stuff indeed. Not what we're expecting to see from the Inverleigh side this afternoon. Don't know whether it's just a bit of laziness or what's caused it, but it's awfully hard to look at. Inverleigh lose possession of the ball. Jewell again kicks the ball across. It's Karasay for North Geelong, but he can't handle it. Love hand passes across the back of the pack. Oh, coming out and fumbling there is Grundle. He finally picks the ball up and the neat little kick into the middle of the ground looking for Donahue over his head. North Geelong defenders running on it, but they can't take control of the ball. It's just a scrappy mess. The umpire's found a free kick and is going to go North Geelong's way to Dalziel. In the back pocket, he kicks it closer out to the boundary line and finds Jewell. Jewell has the ball now, looking for options, but again, there's a fair wall of brown and gold in front of him. Jewell kicks down the line. It's Wilson punches it away from Davis. Farrell gets a little hand pass over the top. But coming out there, Ricketts can't hold the ball. It's kicked away there by Marnie. He gets it down the line. O'Keefe comes in for Lee. Back to Follett. Follett across to O'Keefe again. Across to Gerard. He takes a bounce. Runs through centre half back now. A neat little kick into the middle of the ground. Intercepted, but not quite properly by Smith. Hand passes over the back. Ricketts comes onto the ball for North Geelong. He's tackled immediately by Tyquin. And we'll have a ball up just in front of the interchange gates here in front of us, where we see North Geelong 20, Inverleigh leading 58, 20 minutes into the De Grande third quarter.
Ball is thrown up. Ruckman go at it. Ball tapped down by Wilson. Goes towards Grundle. Over the top of the ball. Needs to get the handball out. Did so. Working hard there was Robertson. He's back there. Grundle knocks the ball clear of the contest. Kicked off the ground by Rickett. Goes back into the centre square. Coming through. Kenner can't pick the ball up. He's got some assistance. Picks up there. Jewell over the top. Handball outside is okay. Kick was in towards the dangerous area. Oh, Parker just one hand up and plucks it out of the air. Now again, the same thing. If he's another 5 metres closer, he's kicking into a bit of a breeze. So this will be testing material. But Luke Parker, as we know, can kick a football a long way. So Luke Parker now is lining up. He's going to have to kick this every bit of 50, I would think, or pretty close to. But he goes over the top, and a good lead up, and the mark has been taken out there. Carricksay has taken the mark, so he will go back. Thomas Carricksay, again, we'll see how his kicking ability is as the wind starts to creep up a little bit more. Steps in from about 40 metres out. Kicks off drift away line and through for a minor score. So North Geelong now to 3-3. Inverleigh on 7-16 and 21, almost 22 minutes gone in this third quarter.
I'd have rather see Luke attempt it from where he was.
Yes. So the ball into the hands of Gerard now. Gerard gets the ball and goes inside to Love. Bounced off his chest, but he went back and knocked it forward. Into the hands of Manganelli. Tried to keep the ball alive. Tapped it up and again up in the hands of Smith of North Geelong. Goes back over the top. This time to Swennerson. Got the handball outside. Running player out there is Bruns. And again straight to the hands of Gerard. So the ball is going to come back out once again. Gerard looking to cross the ball through the middle of the ground, but there's no one there, so he goes back to the same side, and there's two players out there. A mark is taken by Burke. He plays on from the centre wing, goes short over the top. Mark is also taken, so they continue to run. Mays got the handball outside to Tyquin. He looks up, goes inside, goes towards McEwen Walsh, and he's taken a mark and can go back and kick for goal.
It was a best passage of play we've had for quite a while in this quarter. It's come to life a little bit. It was very hard to look at before that. And we're 22 minutes, not a lot left. Inverleigh will be wanting to really press their authority in the last little piece. So McEwen Walsh, 45-degree angle. He'll kick from about 40 metres out. Leaves the left foot horribly and wobbles through for a point. The 17th for the afternoon. 7:17, 59 Inverleigh. North Geelong a 3-3-21. 23 minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter. You're looking a little less enthused over there, Grubby, as you launch into that magnificent chocolate donut.
So the ball comes in and it's going to go out of bounds on the full, and the player bringing it back was Ward. So back over the boundary line.
I shouldn't have done that. Wayne Tyquin complained last week that I was eating now and again. He said, what's more important, eating or commentating? What do you reckon, idiot?
So the ball in the back pocket, North Geelong to bring the ball back in. And Dixon standing the mark, so he's just going to have no choice but to bring it round the boundary line. Stevie Ricketts has placed himself well. Haste had the ball, taken out from his teammate and Wilson. Wilson had it, picked it up, back into the hands of Haste. Templeton boots the ball further afield. Again, there's not too many players handling the ball very nicely or cleanly in there, and it's going to be a throw there, umpire says. Swennerson, the recipient of the free kick. So Brent Swennerson from the back pocket. He looks to transfer. He's going to go back. Kick had to be good and was. Reynolds has the ball. Across the ground they go once again. Mark this time taken out there by Fisher. So they've got some numbers on the outside. Beecroft has found some space by himself, but is closed down quickly by Hutchison. Over the top, little short chip, and that's also good. So they've used it from one side to the other. That's been good so far. Looking to deliver the ball now towards centre wing. That's also a good kick. Mark was not taken. Umpires allowed it to go on. Swennerson had it, went backwards. And they're going to end up back inside 50 now and set Beecroft a bit of a task. He's a good... his kick wasn't good. It's been smothered. Picked up Burke. Went back. Couldn't get it, but Beecroft did. Got the handball away. Brockenshire is there. And off a step. Brings the ball back out. Inverleigh best suited with that kick. Mark up over the top. And it will be to Tyquin. So he's going to now go towards centre half forward. Coming up. Mark not taken out there by Dixon. Worked hard at ground level. Got the handball away only as far as Farrell. He delivers the ball back inside. It uses it very nicely. And the mark has been taken inside by Dalziel. So Dalziel on the defensive side of centre wing goes out wide. Kenner has the ball. He looks at his options. He takes the bounce. No one going out at the moment, so he looks back inside. Kick is okay, and that in the hands of Todd Smith. So he's now got the ball. Looking for his options further afield. Low, flat kick to Parker, and that's a great kick. Good use. And Luke Parker comes out and takes the mark. Right on 40, has an option further afield, went towards that player in a bib, set him a bit of a task. The ball gets through, picked up there by Muir. He is tackled by Bruns, got the handle out to Haste, and the umpire says that is a throw. Free kick will go to the North Geelong side.
Gee, I just saw him come off that Mason Dixon. Gee, he looks like a kid.
Yeah.
Looks like a baby.
A lot of puppy fat on him still.
Yeah, and a young face. He must be only very young.
So Bruns with the ball. This will be a difficult kick going back into towards the breeze. Kicking from just over the cricket pitch. Well, I tell you what, he's hit that pretty nicely, and it has been pushed through for a minor score. So North Geelong now to 3-4, and Inverleigh on 7-17, 26 gone to Grandy Cycling Sports third quarter scoreboard.
Inverleigh about to bring the ball back in through Templeton. He kicks long down the middle of the ground. Casey Meehan's his target. It goes over his head. Coming through very strongly is Robertson. He gets it free, and it's Mays who kicks into the forward pot looking for Donoghue. He takes a mark. Could have played on, but decided to go back for a direct shot, and then found someone in space in the middle of the ground. Manganelli, and he'll have a shot directly in front, about 40 metres out. I thought Donoghue might have just wheeled around and kept going then, but he very calmly stopped, propped, and found a teammate in a better position. So we're almost at the end of the quarter based on this. There's probably only a minute or so to go. Manganelli could very well produce the final score of this, the third quarter. The De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter here at the North Geelong Oval. Manganelli comes in, kicks it, and kicks it very well, straight over the goal umpire's head. The 8th for the afternoon for Inverleigh, 8-17-65 to North Geelong 3-4-22. We're 27 minutes into the third De Grande Sport and Cycle quarter. Grubby, this has been a sort of a hard to watch quarter.
Yeah, look, it has been. I mean, it's always going to be, but you know, in the end, you get a kid that's probably got as much skills as most, Smitty, and Toby Manganelli. I'd like to see him actually get the ball a little bit more, but you know, it takes blokes like him and Maisie to go back and kick the goals where they've been, you know, not kicking goals all day. But if they were kicking goals all day, it'd be even harder to watch because they'd be 20 goals down. Bannockburn 90, Corio 19 at three-quarter time.
Okay, we're back in the middle of the ground. It's Marnie trying to pick the ball up for North Geelong. He can't. Davis is in there also. There's a heap of players scrapping around. Umpires looking for something to blow his whistle for, and all he could find was ball up. So he's got a little bit more work to do, which may not have been his desired outcome at the start. But he's clearing the path out as he throws the ball up. Davis and Wilson again. Again, they both probably got a little bit onto it. It's Swennerson who gets to Marnie. Marnie kicks over the top of Kenner's head. He couldn't quite hold it. Tyquin picks up the crumb and boots it long into the true centre half forward position. Bruns for North Geelong cleverly gets the ball back out over the back of the pack there, and neat little kick in finds Swennerson right on the edge of the centre square. still in Inverleigh's attacking area, kicks right across the ground again in the far back pocket and finds Beecroft. Beecroft kicks down the line and just over the back of the pack again. Henderson can't hold the ball. He's held out of the contest very cleverly. Brown comes in for Inverleigh, kicks down the line and finds Love. Love kicks into the middle of the ground where Tyquin's got very, very busy. He kicks long down the line. McEwen Walsh is underneath it. Very strong mark from the big left footer. He immediately wheels round, kicks long down the line looking for a goal, but it's too far for the right-hand side and only turns out to be the 18th behind for Inverleigh. 8:18.66, North Geelong 3:4.22 with 29.5 minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter.
Yeah, look, I don't know what to say from here. It's just it is getting a bit like that, and I'm trying to get a score through coming at in the minutes.
So the ball is kicked in from the fullback position. Fisher goes sideways. Mark is taken out there by Mitchell Bibb. So now he's looking at his options further afield. Not too many at the present time, but he's found one now. He decides to go out long. He's heading towards Wilson, but floating across was Casey Millian, but he was intercepted there. It ends up in the hands of Kenner. He gets the handball back to Davis around the boundary line, and the ball goes backwards, and Inverleigh are happy enough just to share the ball around now with Grundle. He looks up, a little short kicks, okay, back to Tyquin. So Tyquin will have the ball as the siren sounds to end the third quarter, which will see North Geelong go in at 3-4. They trail Inverleigh on 8-18. Goal kickers as they were at half-time for North Geelong, Parker, Rickett and Habib. And for Inverleigh, 3 to Mays, 2 to Donahue, 1 each to Burke, Meehan and Manganelli. Take a short break. When we come back, final quarter action here from North Geelong. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Awfully difficult to look at. That third quarter was productive for Inverleigh. They got some scores on the board. They lead 8-18-66 to North Geelong 3-4-22. They're going to continue on and win a game that they were probably always going to win, but goodness gracious me, Grubby, it's been hard work watching that.
Well, you can tell that by when you try and pick out some better players of the quarter. Oh, geez, it's hard. When you look at Inverleigh, who were winning easy, and I thought, well, Tyquin played well, but I think Wilson got on top a little bit. I don't think. Is that what? No, I don't know.
Templeton's been all right.
Yeah, Templeton's been okay.
I like Burke.
Yeah, Burke's all right. The back one didn't have to do much at all. Finley O'Keefe's played okay. Young Jackson Jewell for North was pretty good. Brent Swennerson was pretty good. I thought in defence, he hit a target, and that's what they need. A couple of times he got it to young Shane Dalziel, and he bloody well dropped it. But, it was just so hard to find good players in a quarter where, you would have thought that Inverleigh might have kicked even more than that.
Yeah.
And that's what worries me. You might have got it right. They might kick 4 or 5 against the win and blow them away. So you would hope with the win they've got something left. I know they've got a lot of players who aren't quite fit enough and they haven't been training. And I don't know what they've got left, but you would hope they'd have enough left to hold on and maybe kick a couple of goals this quarter.
Well, I suppose the message from North Geelong coach is pretty obvious. Keep at it, boys. The win's there. There's some chance for you to get some reward. But what if you Adam Donahue? What do you say? They're 44 points up. They're going to win. They're lethargic and going through the motions. Do you just leave them to do that, or do you try and invigorate them to get something out of it? Because they just don't look switched on at all.
Well, there's 2 words you tell them. There's only 2 words you tell them. Kick straight. Because if they did, they'd be 16 goals in front.
Yeah. In a situation like that, when your game's in control and it's dull and boring, do you waste the time to try and rev them up?
You go back and just keep telling them. The things that they've been doing, obviously, last week worked for them pretty well. Now, it's just a matter of just controlling the ball, looking for a bet in their forward line. If they can do that, they'll probably kick 5 or 6 in this quarter. But having said that, North Geelong have been able to get back and cover off pretty well so far, so they've done a pretty good job. So, from my point of view, Inverleigh, they need to show the kicking into the wind, but to be honest, they just need to run the ball and run it a lot cleaner than they have been. That's the important thing. And they've, as I said, I don't know. I watched the reserve game, and you could see that their efforts to bring the ball back into the centre corridor was pretty evident. But here, they seem to be going around the outside a little bit more, and whether that's because North Geelong have covered off those areas for them, I'm not too sure. But they need to get back and do that some more.
Well, I'll tell you another thing. I mean, apart like other games, if you take other games into account, I think Inverleigh, I think they've kicked reasonably straight. When you really look at it, Thomson, 12-25, Thomson. So Inverleigh look good.
Well, how Rannicky going?
2-1.
Okay, not so good.
No. The only side the scores I haven't got at the moment is the Bellpost Hill scores.
They might have given up.
Anarchy 2-1-13, Trail Thompson 12-25-97. Werribee 3-7-25, Trail East 10-10-70. Bannockburn 94, Corio 19. And we've got 2 to go. So I've got to get Cogsies in.
Okay, it's the start of the 4th quarter here at the North Geelong Oval.
The last quarter, brought to you by Morris Finance.
So about to start the final quarter here this afternoon, and the umpire with the ball in the middle of the ground. He throws the ball up. Wilson and Davis. Davis gets the ball down. That's not a bad work. So it goes towards Jewell. He puts the ball into the half-forward line. Spoil from behind. Inverleigh brings the ball to ground. Picked up. Filet running back with the ball. Gets his handball away into the hands of Grundle. Grundle goes short across the ground. Tyquin back. He's got a number of possession. He goes looking for Wilson. He will find him. The player went back and... to be honest, both players took their eye off the ball, but it's going to be a free kick to Wilson, who was coming to the ball, and he will have possession. He's got Meehan sideways if he wants to. He's got options there. He's going to go short, and Meehan will get the ball. So again, inside, not too many options in there. So he goes along the boundary line and short. Coming up is Robinson. Been okay for him to lead today.
Yeah.
Again. So again, the movement forward is not that great. He's been asked to play on by the umpire, put himself under a little bit of pressure, got out of trouble, and then the umpire says that is holding the ball. Free kick will go to Farrell. So Charlie Farrell.
I bet you he's wishing he kicked that.
Yes. straight away. Anyway, the handball goes towards Meehan, goes towards Haste, over the top, back towards Tyquin, running backwards from the goals. Got the handball out wide. That was okay, we'll say, because the handball did put the Inverleigh to advantage. The handball again from Meehan comes out, collected there by Farrell. He got the handball away. Robertson got in and out of trouble. Handball goes towards Haste again, picked up by Hutchison, goes back towards Meehan. And yes, it's a bit like not watching a bar of soap go through people's hands at the moment, because it's not good. It's not clean. And I think that's a message he probably needs to have, Rob, is let's start getting a little bit cleaner with our ball use, because it's pretty ordinary to watch.
It is indeed. The boundary throw in right in front of us. Davis in the front, but coming over the back is Wilson. He gets it down to Tyquin, to Meehan, across to Grundle. There's some high quality names, and a neat little kick finds Haste. Not deemed to be long enough. He hand passes quickly, strongly coming through the pack, and breaking a tackle or two is best for North Geelong. Kicks long down the line looking for Habib
on the full,
but it's out of bounds on the full, and it will be Brown for Inverleigh. Will take the relieving kick. It's gone over the head of Robertson. He does a very good job to win it back. Gets it back to Tyquin. Hand passes to Haste. Haste over the top to Grundle. He kicks into the middle of the ground and finds Wilson on his own. Quick hand pass releases Follett. Here kicks it across the ground to a running Gerard. He gets past him, but he gets back onto it again. Very cleverly hand passes inside to Burke. Burke runs on. He's within kicking distance now. Kicks into the goal square, and at the end of the goal square stands his coach, Adam Donny, who takes a strong mark under some pressure. And we'll go back to kick his third goal for the afternoon. And
Write it in.
Inverleigh.
Write it in. There's no way he's going to miss this one. Write it in.
No. So Donahue waddles in, leans back, goes bang straight over the goal umpire's head. Grubby was right. It is their ninth. They're 9-18-72. North Geelong 3-4-22. They've hit a 50-point lead with 2.5 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter.
I just reckon when they started to move that ball in, the poor North Geelong boys chasing them, they were just about all in, I reckon. They were just running along behind, and I don't know what they do now. They just put a couple of men back in the back line if you can, and just try and minimise the damage. Otherwise, Inverleigh are going to kick 5 or 6, maybe even 7 this quarter.
If they can kick straight, it could get a bit messy.
That should be me Belmont Bell Post Hill score coming through.
How is Cogsy?
You got plenty of time.
Well.
The ball's gone into the yard at the back, looking for another ball now.
Bell Post Hill 17-4, 106.
Ooh, that's great kicking for today.
Belmont Lions 4-5-29.
Well, there's been a few sort of surprises from last week, but more about what we thought prior to last week, I suppose, and that's certainly Bell Post Hill's efforts.
Well, Smithy got sucked into going for Belmont. It happens to him every year.
Yeah, Belmont at home. I always thought they were a better side there, but yes.
Might
So
start
back with the umpire, middle of the ground, and Wilson and Davis, and he's done it for most of the day, Davis. So it's been a pretty good effort. Throws the ball up. Davis takes the ball out of the ruck contest, wants to do it all himself, gets boot the ball, puts it into the half-forward line. Grundle couldn't take the mark, got the handball away to Templeton. He missed it, went back in the hands of Smith, and he puts the ball forward. Muir comes out and he takes the mark, got the handball away to Filet. Filet's got a running player outside, and that was well used. The ball goes quickly into the hands of Brown. He goes towards centre wing. Wilson comes up, didn't take the mark, and it was Burke that had it, and the kick was smothered. Again, North Geelong try to get the ball forward, but it runs over the boundary line and have a throw in on the far side of the ground.
So we're going to have a boundary throw in again. We've had plenty of them this afternoon. Davis at the front gets it, pulls it out of the ruck himself, quickly hand passes to a teammate who's tackled.
We'll play advantage.
Said he was held, and the free kick will go to North Geelong. Player was held after he dispossessed the ball.
What?
Kicked the ball forward. That was Clark. Quick kick back into the forward line for Habib. Comes out, can't trap the ball. Filet gets it, hand passes across to Templeton. Templeton out to Gerard, and they're under some pressure in the back pocket. Gerard needs to be at his best, and he was. Finally gets a hand pass out. Karasay gets it across to Henderson. Henderson kicks, but that is
car park.
The side of the boot, out of bounds on the full, and Inverleigh will win back possession of the ball. We're 5 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter. It's 22-72 Inverleigh's way.
I couldn't believe that. I'm calling for advantage. I couldn't believe why Wilson that wouldn't take the advantage. I know why now, because it wasn't their kick. I think he went the wrong way.
Templeton into the back pocket. Oh, that's a terrible hand pass and a terrible response. Marnie comes through. He's been hit high and he's going to have a free kick and a shot for goal for North Geelong, only about 25 to 30 metres out, almost directly in front. And that was just laziness from Inverleigh.
Well, it was a bit, but I reckon he put the head down and trying to bullock his way through, and I don't know if they could actually get out of the way of it. Sometimes I wouldn't pay them, but I didn't quite see it well enough. But he did seem to put the head down and try and bullock his way through.
So it's Marnie now. Ball leaves his boot pretty darn well, and it's right through the middle for North Geelong's fourth. 4-4, 28, Inverleigh 9, 18-72, 6 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter. And that went against the flow of play.
Well, it did, and he's one of the younger boys from Lara. Well, I haven't heard you call Henderson much, Kaya Henderson. But they're only kids coming out of the Lara under 19, so there's a bit of a way to go for them too. But yeah, it was against the play, but if you've got the wind and you use it properly, you can still salvage a couple of goals out of this.
So back with the umpire once again, middle of the ground. And Wilson and Davis, as they've done on a number of occasions this afternoon. Ball is thrown in the air. Again, Davis tries to take it out of the contest. Umpire says over the shoulder, and he wins the free kick.
That's been a good contest, Smithy.
Yeah, he has. He's done pretty well, Davis. Ball goes to the half-forward line. Grundle across with the spoil. And it's going to hit the ground. Muir's going to be the first there. Picks the ball up. Handball was smothered. Get it back into the hands of Farrell. He puts boot to ball. Tries to bring it back into the field of play.
That's good.
Had the mark, put it down again. Now he works around the boundary line. Kenner picks it up, delivers it back towards the front of the square, and it's picked up again, and they have another one. And that was through Aaron Best. He gets his first of the afternoon, and now they're fifth for the afternoon. They move to 5-4. They trail Inverleigh on 9-18, and we have gone just over 8 minutes, final quarter.
Look, you've got to really have a look at Charlie Farrell there. On a day like today, with the wind blowing that way, 99 people out of 100 would have put that ball out in the full. But he just had enough skills, and not only did he keep it in, he hit Mitch Habib on the chest, which he dropped it. They're able to get it back in and score a goal. So you can put that one down to the skills of Charlie Farrell, because as I said, most blokes would have just kicked that straight out into the bar.
So back in the middle, this dull game has been livened up a bit. North Geelong with the last 2 goals. First time they've kicked 2 in a row for the afternoon. And the ball's thrown up. Wilson over the top. He gets the tap to Tyquin. Tyquin to Robertson. Robertson back to O'Keefe. And he hand passes over the top back to Tyquin. A quick little kick out in the direction of Mays. Mays across to O'Keefe again. Gets around on his right foot. Stabs a little pass in and finds Burke. And Burke's taken a mark. He's 52 metres out. I know that because there's a white line on the ground 2 metres away. He kicks it back to O'Keefe. Stabbing pass into the pocket, but coming across to take the mark is Farrell, who was heavily involved in that previous goal for North Geelong and now working at the opposite end of the ground for the Magpies. So Farrell looking for options. He's forced to kick down the line, and he's done better than that because Bruns has found some room on his own, and he's marked just outside the 50-metre arc. So Bruns, who's been pretty serviceable as well without being outstanding for North Geelong, as many of his teammates have been, stabs the ball down the line, looking for Best over the back of the pack to Tyquin. Tyquin gets it across to Mays. Mays hand passes inside. O'Keefe picks it up. He hand passes it back to give away some ground. Tyquin kicks it long, looking for McEwen Walsh. Wobbles over the back of the pack. Donohue's there to pick up a crumb. Snaps it across his body. But again, a minor score. 19 now, 73. North Geelong 5-4-34. And if they can get to 20 points, that might be their biggest achievement. An otherwise dull afternoon for the unbelievably strong, but not so strong today, Inverleigh side. We're 10 minutes into the Morris Finance last quarter.
What's he kicked, Donohue?
3-2, ball
3-2.
Back in, picks up on McEwen Walsh, goes to Tyquin. His handball's intercepted into the hands of Habib, and he puts the ball on a 1-1 contest. Muir and also Parker Luke Parker thought the ball was getting over the top. He was heading the right way, but the ball didn't get there. Hutchison picks the ball up, goes sideways, and Filet in space by himself. Options further afield. Finn O'Keefe's made some space. Handball comes back inside to Gerard. They're running the ball okay, but they're not handling the ball cleanly. Gerard is tackled. Ball comes out, kicked off the ground. Umpire says free kick for a high. And the umpire says he's taking him into the ground, so it's going to go back to Ryan Gerard. And from just on centre wing, far side of the ground, little chip further afield. Robertson got the handball away. Back to O'Keefe, over the top, back to Tyquin. Just inside 50, looks sideways. Good kick, brilliant. Manganelli. So Manganelli has the ball. Looking at his options, he's got players wide.
Fancies himself, Dale. He's going to be kicking from 45 at least.
I think the distance will be just made. As I said, back into a bit of a breeze. Accuracy will be the problem here.
Who is it? Toby Manganelli.
Yep.
I think if he makes the distance, he'll kick a goal.
Yep. So he's lining up. He's directly in front. He's going to have to kick the ball every bit of 45. And it's not going to make the distance. It's been held up in the goal square, and the mark Davis gets back and takes a mark.
He's been pretty good, the big fella.
My word, he's been good. So he plays on now, and he goes to the far side of the ground. Player out there by himself, Humphrey. He can't take the mark because there's interception there. He got hands on ball, got the handball away, went to Swenison. He was going to try and get rid of the ball, did so now. Ball is picked up and kicked back towards centre wing. And again, players coming across, and the mark is going to be taken out there by Stevens. So Stevens looks across the ground, chips it in the direction of Filet. Filet runs through the middle. Little one up over the top, goes back towards Manganelli. Had 1-2 goes at it, couldn't take clean possession. Into the hands of Love on the left boot, goes into the forward line. Dixon's best positioned, and he will take the mark. Now, this is no guarantee where this will end up.
No,
Grub.
He's got 3, hasn't he?
Yeah, 3, and I think he even got one out in the 4, I think. So he's got a bit of everything.
4.
So he's had an opportunity, Mason Dixon, and he's got another one right now.
This is how much a funny game's football. Because you would have to say he would have absolutely no chance in the wide world of kicking this. No chance in the world on form today.
So he steps in now, and we'll get a good look at it from where he kicks.
There you go.
Straight off the side of the boot. An opportunity for Inverleigh. Mark up in front. Good strong hands. And Dalton Grundle takes the mark.
I don't know how you just let a bloke go up and take a mark in the square like that, though. I think their will and their fight is gone, the Maggies.
So Grundle from top of the square can go back and kick his first goal of the afternoon. Steps in and kicks truly. Umpire says that is okay. Oh, no. He's missed.
He's what?
He's missed. Looks to be straight off the boot.
This is their 20th. Yeah, well done.
This is getting beyond a bloody joke. This is.
Taking a mickey out of us, I reckon. 9:20 they are now. Ball in quickly. Ends up in the hands of Humphrey. Running the ball towards centre wing. He kicks ball long into the forward line. And I think it's going to just stay in the field of play. Umpire says yes, that is the case. And we'll have a ball in to take place in their half-forward line.
Grubby Grundle spent this game playing as a defender. Is that just an embarrassment of riches up forward, or do you think that that's a good spot for him?
Yeah, it is, but I mean, he's the type of kid that can go and play any single position on the ground. So you might as well do that every week, because you never know. You might have to do something like that in a final.
So Love's got the ball again, brings it back towards centre wing. Tyquin Manganelli there. Tyquin, good use. Takes the team opposition away from the ball and kicks the ball back in. Again, Dixon in good position. Oh, he had the ball come out. Reynolds swoops on it, and he looks to deliver the ball back. 2-on-1 situation out the back. McEwen Walsh, last to arrive. He had hands on it. The ball comes through the contest. Going back, Grundle taps the ball back towards Gerard. Gerard on the left boot, got the handball away back to O'Keefe. He's running away from goal, but it kicks round the body. Goes back towards McEwen Walsh, coming up over the top. Mark is not taken. Picking the ball up. Love got the handball out. Back towards Gerard once again. Little boot along the boundary line will be okay. And Robinson takes it and wants to go and does. Goes over the top to Dixon. He's got some space. He's got runners inside. He's going to use the left boot this time. Now, that's a better looking kick. Now, why can't he do that when he's got the ball? Ends up in the hands there of Mays. Handballs over the top. Gives Donoghue the great opportunity. He's running towards goal. Screws it around. Umpire says this time it is going to be a goal. And he has got his 4th goal of the afternoon. Now 10:20. They lead North Geelong on 5-4. 15 minutes gone in this final quarter. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
Well, again, you saw it here in front of us. They were run along behind their stonking. They've just about had enough, I think, the North Geelong Magpies. They've done a magnificent job with a very depleted and undermanned and unfit side, I suppose you'd have to say. They've hung in as well as they can. Big Davis has just limped off the ground. He's done a majestic job. But Inverleigh have just been far too strong. You know, look, Inverleigh could have played better if some of their players weren't on the vodka and beer last night. I won't mention any names. Casey Meehan.
So back with the umpire in the middle of the ground. And I'm not too sure. Looks like Jules doing the ruck work. Over the top. End up in the hands of O'Keefe, who puts the ball back into their forward line. Ball, good mark there. Beecroft takes a strong mark, asked to play on. Now he goes sideways across the ground. The mark is taken out there, this time by Dalziel. He's just settling things down. Goes short. Lead up player. Mark is taken. And that's Marnie, I think it is.
Yeah.
So he's going to look to deliver the ball short. That's a better kick as well. So they're still using the ball okay into the hands of Swenison. He chips inside. Was looking for, I don't know if he was looking for Smith, but that's who he found. He moves the ball quickly, going towards Parker, coming up. Meet the ball was Grundle, got through the contest, and he looks up, delivers the ball back towards the half-forward line. Good ball from behind by Dalziel. Collected the ball and put it back on his boot, went back towards the centre half-forward position. Grundle going back with the fly of the ball, file it over the top. Ball hits the ground, picked up by Muir. He's tackled, got the handball away to O'Keefe. Habib puts a bit of pressure on. Swenison's there to assist. He's tackled, brought to ground. Umpire says it's coming back to me, and he will ball it up just inside the centre square. See, Galton Grundle's probably gone back and played. Someone else went back early and played in their back line because Crowley's overseas.
Yeah.
So that's what they've lost, that big taller player. So that's why it's stand. Good tap out there by Wilson, straight into the running player of Meehan. His kick was smothered, picked up, Love follows through, got the handball back outside, didn't travel too far, put his teammate under a bit of pressure. It's turned over now. Smith gets the handball outside and again looks back towards Swenison.
Oh, look at it spinning.
Yep, he's kicking the ball along the ground. Did well to Habib. Habib taps the ball in front, got the ball back to Swenison. Little chip up over the top. Wilson got a hand on it. Goes towards Best. Fends off. Did that nicely. Looks back inside. Got the left boot. Went back towards a dangerous spot. Going back. Mark is not taken there by Filer. Picked up by Farrell. Tackle. Ball comes out in the tackle. And it's Temple that laid that tackle. And umpire says again, I'm going to call for the ball back. And he is going to take it inside the forward 50 for North Geelong.
I think he might have tried to play for a free kick, Charlie, but the umpire too astute on that occasion.
So the ball thrown up very quickly again. Wilson taps it down, and he says that's not where I wanted to throw it. So
That's
he's
what
going to
happens when they bounce it. He threw it up and redone it. I ain't never seen that before.
So again, this time Wilson goes up uncontested. The ball comes out to Brown. Brown goes out wider. And again, they've got numbers in the contest. Ends up in the hands there of Tyquin, who delivers the ball back towards centre wing. Ryan Robertson is in front, can't take the mark. Good spoil from behind there by Jill Fisher. And the ball goes back over the boundary line, so we'll have another throw in to take place.
He must have done something there because Casey Meehan just went on and he's coming straight back off.
Yeah.
Is he holding his hand or his arm?
Fingers, I think.
He's got a stinger on the fingers, I reckon, Grubby.
Yeah.
Davis is back in action after hobbling off before, wins the tap out. But taps it to himself, but unfortunately Love's dispossessed him and kicked down the line. But North Geelong have won it back through Reynolds. He finds Jewell, who we haven't called for a while, but he's had a very, very good game for the Magpies this afternoon. He kicks down the line, but that is a poor kick and allows Tyquin to easily intercept, kick the ball back into the middle of the ground, and immediately they go again. Brown has it now. He kicks out looking for Manganelli. He runs on it. He's got plenty of time to wait for it to bounce a couple of times. Just relax slowly, then measure the kick into the pocket. Donahue is running out to it, takes it on the chest, can't quite hold the mark, pushes off tackler, gets around a second one. Hand passes across to a teammate there in Mays. He runs around on his right foot, drives in towards goal, and he has kicked another goal for the Inverleigh side. They're 11th, 11-20. 86, North Geelong 5-4-34, 19 and a half minutes into the Morris Finance last quarter, and that was a few tired North Geelong players just struggling to keep up a bit again, as you said, Grub.
Well, I think that's been the gist of the last quarter, but what does Maisie kick now? How many has he kicked?
4.
He just reminds me, not the same type of player, But he hasn't done a great deal, Maisie, around the ground, but he's kicked 4 goals. Last week we saw Freeman get about 10 possessions and kick 5 from Thomson. And as I say, Maisie hasn't had a lot of the ball, but he's kicked 4 goals as a forward. That's all you want him to do, really.
He's done a very, very good job indeed.
Especially when everybody else is kicking points.
Yeah.
He's kicking goals, you know.
Very good. So back in the middle, we've got Davis and Wilson again, as we've had most times. Falls between the two of them. Habib runs onto the loose ball and kicks down the line. He can't quite hold the ball. He's fouled, but Gerard, who's at a tight little game playing as a defender, kicks it down. Habib comes in again to win the ball for North Geelong. It runs away from him and others, but he taps it back into play. Farrell gets around an opponent there, but can't get away from the second tackle and is forced over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in in front of the Loving Social Club at North Geelong.
He read it very, very well then, Mitch Habib. He ran on and he was going to get it too, except poor old Charlie ran out of room.
Ball's thrown back in. Wilson at front place gets it down. Bowled Parker right through the middle, picked up by Davis. He can't get away from a tackle and again out of bounds in front of the Social Club. Boundary umpires have done a pretty good job on these windy conditions. They're young and they're not big bodies at all, but they've tried very hard to get the ball back, and as I praise them up, that one wasn't so good. It's been allowed to play on. Robertson can't get away. Farrell again pushed into the ground. Surprisingly didn't get a kick. Players grappling for the ball, hands wobbling around. Marnie gets it across to Farrell again. Farrell is dragged to the ground. I thought got one high, got away.
He got one high, all right.
Jules picked it up, kick forward for North Geelong, but it's punched away from the pack and out of bounds in the back pocket. Yeah, Charlie Farrell has copped a few this afternoon. He's been a very loyal warrior for his team and has sort of caught the eye of plenty this afternoon.
Well, that's what happens. He played for the last one and didn't get it. This time he did get one high, and the umpire said, no, you might be playing for one again. But I think he did cop one that time.
Most definitely. Ball thrown back in again. It's Kenner who is in ruck against Wilson. Can't get away. Stevens gets it across to Filet. He kicks down the middle of the ground, and there on his own is Brown. Brown hand passes quickly to Templeton. Short kick from him. McEwen Walsh marks in the middle of the ground. Back to the running Brown. Brown drops a short pass him, but that... Oh, Manganelli come from nowhere to make it a contest. I thought it was a poor kick straight to an Inverleigh defender. Manganelli buckets up again, tries to get the ball, but he's dragged to the ground, and there will be a ball up. We're just outside the centre circle, and Farrell comes up looking very much worse for wear. He did really get treated quite unfairly in that little contest that the umpire missed. It's Davis goes up strongly to Habib. Habib across to Swenninson. He kicks down the line looking for Ricketts. He can't quite hold the mark. The big fella butters up though, pushes on, gets his body involved in the contest, but coming through is Grundle for Inverleigh. He gets it across to Wilson. Wilson to Templeton, and Templeton kicks across the ground. Running onto the ball is Kenner. Kenner tries to drag it back in the middle of the ground, but only as far as Haste. And Haste, the little kick, finds Brown in the middle of the ground. Brown plays on quickly. Loose on the half-forward line for Inverleigh is Ward. He goes back now looking to penetrate forward. A neat little kick looking for Mays, who we're just talking about. Already has 4 goals. He's found some space. Forced a hand pass back in the direction of McEwen Walsh. He's bundled out of the way, and then Reynolds, who's had a pretty good game back there as well, kicks into the middle of the ground to Jewell. Jewell's a neat kick also into the middle of the ground. There finds Clark. Clark hand passes across to Swenninson. Swenninson kicks forward, but
he's off.
Muir was about to tackle, gets it to Templeton. Templeton to Burke. Burke's dragged it down, gets it down to Grundle, who kicks quickly into the middle of the ground. Young Haste is underneath it, punched away from him, but roving very effectively is Love. On his non-preferred right foot, he kicks neatly out in front of the running Manganelli, who marks just outside the 50. Long, low drop punt into the forward pocket, and Mason Dixon...
Oh, mate, put one through for God's sake.
No, he's decided to get it off.
He's jibbed it.
And he's given it back to Mays. And I suppose on the averages of Mays' kick 4 straight and Dixon's kick 4 straight behinds, that was probably a sound decision, Grubby.
Probably the decision that had to be made, and it was made correctly.
So Mays will have a chance to kick his 5th for the afternoon. And that's a pretty good return for a small forward in a game like this. He lays back on the ball, kicks, it's low, drifting across, and Brockenshire takes a really good mark on the last line for North Geelong. Kicks down the line, but it is Ward for Inverleigh marking just outside the 50. We're 25 minutes in, so there's probably only 2 or 3 minutes of play left. Inverleigh leading 86-34 at this stage. This is the Morris Finance final quarter. Ward passes into that hot spot. Dixon comes out, one hand up, can't control it. It's knocked away from him. North Geelong defenders have done a really good job. Get it out to Jewell, and he marks in front of the practice cricket nets here. Back pocket for North Geelong. Kicked in the middle of the ground. Brockenshire, no, it's Bruns. Takes it neatly, kicks down and finds Marnie, who's had a really, really good game for North Geelong. Ken has made some ground out here, but he's ignored. He's gone the exact opposite way across the other side of the ground for North Geelong and finds Dalziel. He runs on it, gets around an opponent. Ooh, kicks horribly back into the middle of the ground. O'Keefe punches it away from his teammate. Picked up by Habib, kicks left foot into the square. Ricketts can't quite hold the mark. Templeton picks up the crumb, kicks out into the halfback flank, and Wilson runs on to for Inverleigh. A long hand pass, strangely, to his former teammate in Kenner. Kenner kicks back into the back pocket, looking for Ricketts, punched away from him and over the boundary line. And that was some reasonably good play, considering the players are all pretty tired. Getting late in the game, 26.5 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter.
Well, I'll tell you one bloke who doesn't look too tired. The off-the-mark pace of Toby Manganelli is absolutely sensational.
Yeah.
Even at this late stage of the game, he's so quick.
So the ball in the contest, picked up by Tyquin, goes backwards. Gerard has it on the left boot. Has to be a good kick when looking for, and we'll find Brown, but no, the good interception there. Marnie it is, it picks the ball up. His kick was also smothered, ends up in the hands of Finn O'Keefe. He's tackled high and will be the recipient of a free kick. So late in this final quarter, O'Keefe
right,
with
Bags?
the ball. So O'Keefe not too sure where he's going to go. Umpire will now ask him to play on, and he does so now, and he goes towards his teammate, Haste. Good mark
that's
in front.
a good mark.
And there's that young kid, Kai Henderson, Grub.
Good on him.
He's taken the mark just outside their forward 50, too far out to score. Chips the ball inside, kicks a little bit too much weight on it as the siren sounds to end the game here. And it will see North Geelong finish on 5-4. They will get beaten, obviously, pretty well by Inverleigh at 11-20. And goal kickers for the game, we have all individuals for North Geelong. Parker, Best, Rickett, Marnie and Habib. And for Inverleigh, 4 each to Mays and Donoghue, 1 each to Burke, Meehan and Manganelli. Take a short break. When we come back, we'll run through all the final quarter action here. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Shoot it.
34 to Inverleigh's 11 goals 20, and you look at that and say it's 22 extra scoring shots. Quite amazing the difference, but I don't think that North Geelong were actually that far behind Inverleigh. I just thought they were a lot better than that scoreboard reads. Grubby, what did you think?
Well, I think I'm going to go to the chemist and get the same drugs you're on, mate, because 31 shots to 9. If they kick straight, they win by 22 goals. The only way that they didn't smash them is because of their bad kicking. You can give a little bit of, praise and that to North Geelong for maybe making them miss a few, but gee, I tell you what, if they kick straight, they just smash them out of the water. I know around the ground, we tried to keep them in it. They tried to keep themselves in it, and I guess they run out of gas. Look, I'm not that disappointed in them, but let's face it, if they kick straight, they just blow them out of the water by 20 goals, don't they, really?
Yeah, mate. Well,
and they played
but it didn't
poor.
look like that watching the game. You wouldn't have thought it was 22 extra scoring shots, not the way...
Well, sometimes it doesn't, but in reality, it is.
You know what? I've seen North Geelong play half a dozen times. That's the best four-quarter effort I've seen them put in.
Yeah, but they probably lost all 4 quarters.
They did. They were even.
At least last year they won a quarter here.
Well, they won a quarter here. They
played
really some shocking quarters last year where they weren't even in the hunt, but they just kept chipping away today. As you said at the start, that's all you could expect of them, and that's what they delivered.
Yeah, look, I think had they have had some players that had a bit of training under them, a little bit fitter, I think they could have lasted a bit longer. But once they ran out of gas, like, as I say, Inverleigh just smashed you, and if they kick straight, well, they just blow you out of the water. But you're right. They just, like, Lukey Parker hasn't trained much. There's a few.
Stevie Ricketts has played 2 games.
Yeah, it's just they ran out of gas, but I think they were just lucky that it was pretty windy and Inverleigh didn't kick well.
You think I'm mad now? Wait till I give them votes later.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's so hard to give votes. I'm thinking of giving 2 North Geelong blokes votes.
So am I.
Well, I've got 1 in.
Yeah.
As I said, it was a really hard day to players really started well, then they weren't seen. You're looking for 4-quarter performances, so that's all you can really base it on. So it's going to be very interesting to see where these votes go. So, do you want to do them now? Or
Go on, where you go.
Righto, I'll start off. I've given 3 to Matty Tyquin. I've given 2 to Ryan Robinson of Inverleigh, and I've given 1 vote to Tommy Davis of North Geelong. So I thought his ruck work was pretty good all day, and he battled pretty much by himself.
And you could have given Wilson 1 too. It was that close. I reckon it was a draw.
Yep. And the other blokes like Charlie Farrell and Jackson Jewell and Mitchell Bibb were all in there. And again, you look at Inverleigh, and there were some good players. Mason Dixon was right on the border too. I thought he played.
Well, if you kick straight, he is.
Well, that's right.
But you can't kick 4 points and be in the best place.
And I've left Nathan Mays and Donahue out, and they both kicked 4. So there you go. So that's mine. Tyquin, Robertson, and Tommy Davis from North Geelong.
Well, I had... go on.
Yeah, I was going to follow your lead. I'm going to give 1 vote to Will Marnie, number 29, the hairy fella from North Geelong. I'm going to give 2 votes to Davis, and the easiest one of all is Matt Tyquin was by far the best player on the ground. And you're getting some more scores in from other grounds, are you, Greg?
I am. I've just got the Thomson one. They've kicked 28 points themselves.
Goodness gracious. Righto, 3 votes. The votes, the key votes for the day now. Over to you, Grubby.
Hang on, I'll just write that down before I lose it.
Still doing
right.
Here he goes.
A lot of blokes. I agree with Tommy Davis, and I agree with Will Marnie, and I agree with Jackson Jewell. I had him with a vote.
Yeah, he was good.
I had him with a vote, but I finished up going 1 vote to Swenson because I thought probably the 3rd quarter he didn't play that well, but he played 3 other good ones. I gave 2 votes to Ryan Robertson. I thought he wasn't as spectacular as he normally is, but he was still better than most of them on the ground. And where have I got this? I just did this so this bloody old man wouldn't try and sneak at me. But with 8 possessions in the first quarter, 7 in the second, 8 in the third, and finishing off with 11 possessions in the last quarter, 36 possessions, best on the ground by even further than what Brent McLeod was last week. Matt Tyquin, magnificent game, and he's going to the Yards Hotel for the big Wagyu steak.
Magnificent. Well, that's 2 weeks in a row that we've all agreed, which is really odd. Never happened at any stage
Yeah,
last year.
I'll fix that up.
Yeah. But we've had two pretty obvious BOGs, which has helped things along the way. So we haven't really learnt too much today, but about this game, Inverleigh haven't lost any favours. They just kicked poorly. Grubby, tell us what you learnt from other grounds, please.
Righto. I'm just writing this down. Thomson, 20-28, 148. Duanaki, 2-3, 15.
Oh dear.
Werribee 4-8-32 was smashed by East Geelong 12-15 87. Haven't got the Corio Bannockburn one. That's it. That's all I've got at the moment. So the other game's still going.
Bannockburn were well in front of Corio. We did know that.
Yeah, they were.
And Belpost Hill, with some very accurate kicking against the trend of the day, had Belmont Lions well covered.
Yeah. Well, we haven't got the final scores, but whatever they are, we know the winners.
Yeah.
Because that won't change.
Okay, so we know where we're going Anzac Day because there's only one game that weekend. We've got a weekend
Jesus,
off
he's
next.
clever. I didn't realise he was that clever.
I'll tell you what, this will be the interesting one, where we go next weekend.
Yeah,
Correct, because there are
not next weekend.
No, we're having a weekend off. You can have Easter off, gentlemen. Put your feet up. We'll take the family away. Do whatever you like. But we've got some really interesting options. There's only 4 options for us because there is a night game at Geelong West.
We're not doing that.
But there's Belpost Hill versus Werribee Centrals.
That'll be.
East Geelong versus North Geelong.
That won't be good.
Thomson host the Belmont Lions. And Corio host Winchelsea. And Grubby's on the phone because he's got more important things to do. So of that lot, Dale, I'm leaning towards Corio versus Winchelsea at the Viva Energy Oval.
Well, I was thinking the same thing, mate, because the other 3 wouldn't be much worthwhile.
And we've seen them
Belpost
all.
Hill. We've seen Belpost Hill.
We've seen North Geelong and we've seen Thomson.
Yep.
In those other 3 games, we haven't seen Corio and Winch, and I think Corio will be better at home than what they delivered today, based on their first round performance. So maybe it's how Winch go tonight might.
I don't think I think that's the game we have to go and see. To be honest, I don't think we. The others aren't going to be. As I said, I don't.
So we made an executive decision without Mr. Cations.
He'll whinge and suck about it, but that's norm for Grub, so we won't worry about it too much.
We're going to Corio and Winchelsea.
Oh, hang on.
No more correspondence shall be entered into.
Yeah, have a look at the game. You got Belpost Hill and...
That's where we're going.
Werribee?
Yeah. Past players. Belpost... Actually, I don't care where, but Corio and Winch...
Well,
we'll have a look at the other games.
We've seen the other 3 teams. We've
North
seen
Geelong
teams
East.
in other 3 games.
You don't want to go and watch that.
No. Go through the games again.
We have got Belpost Hill, Werribee Centrals.
Yeah.
We have got East Geelong versus North Geelong. And we've got Thomson versus Belmont Lions. We've seen three of those teams.
Yeah.
And then we've got...
there's a night game.
Geelong West and Anarchy is the night game.
You don't want to see that?
We're not allowed to. Can't.
No.
So where does Corio play?
They play at Corio against Winch. And
Corio.
Following the Neville Whitley directive, we probably should go there.
No, I'm fine with that. I thought it was at Winch. Corio's only 23 minutes down the road.
Yeah, we don't have to go to Winch just yet, mate, but we'll probably get out there before the rain hits because we get bogged when we get over there to Winch.
Yeah.
Righto, Corio versus Winchelsea is. So the gentleman sitting behind me who's going to be driving the bus, he'll be very keen to know that, and that's not too far away. But that's Saturday week, not next weekend. It's a weekend off for Easter. And then, of course, the big clash, the clash of traditional rivals, Anzac Day, Inverleigh versus Bannockburn.
But what's happening? Like that's 2 shit rounds in a week. Like, what's going on?
There's obviously a fair bit of difference between some of these sides, I'm thinking. Well, as I said, like I expected North Geelong today to be better than that.
I didn't. I thought they'd be worse.
Well, I suppose the conditions...
Honestly?
Well, I suppose, again, it goes back. If Inverleigh kicked straight, the game would have been ugly.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing what I was banking on, say Belmont had a beaten or went real close to Belpost today.
Yep.
Then we would have been going out to Belpost and Werribee.
Yep.
Because both sides not travelling that well might have been reasonably close.
Yep.
But Belpost, we haven't got their scores, but they must have won by a fair bit. I don't know, maybe they're going better than we thought, because Werribee obviously aren't travelling too well, but they've played the 2 best sides in the comp.
Yeah.
I was actually asked to go out to Belpost Hill too, because it is their big pass players' day, but no, doesn't matter. I'm a bit worried about Corio and Winch, I really am.
Well, is the other one going to be any better? Belpo still in?
I don't know. If I thought it would, I'd be saying that's where we're going, but I don't know.
Yeah, we at some stage today we thought, we've come to the wrong place. Belpo still Belmont might be better, but we may have drawn the right straw. So we don't know. That's the thing. Let's go and find out.
We're going to have to.
We'll go and see the best player in the competition, Joel Bennett, playing on his home ground in front of his adoring crowd, and we'll get looked after out there, and we'll see Winch. We haven't seen either of those sides.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got to see. Oh, you have. Yeah. We haven't commentated on them. Anyway, today was good, interesting game because there was a lot of players who were moderately good without being outstanding, except for Matt Tyquin, who was
How good a game did he play?
Superb.
How good a game did he play?
In a game like this where there was not much excitement about it, he was just like a Rolls Royce driving through some mini minors.
Yeah, his performance was fantastic. Apparently he got 44 touches last week and didn't get the best. So
it's a funny game, football.
Well, you don't need to either because he just rolls along. And
righto, we might let the Elvis hour take over a bit early because I'm a tad thirsty. Grubby, you probably need another pie or something.
No, I'm right now. Just take me other donut.
And are you going to hang around for a while, or are you going straight home to work?
No, I'll go home. Otherwise, I've got to put up with Dick Philpott. Dick Philpott with about 12 pots in him, so no.
Righto, gentlemen, enjoy your Easter break. We'll see you on Saturday week. Appreciate the day. David Steele, on behalf of the team, thank you very much for you sitting back with laryngitis back there in the studio. Struggling to get through the afternoon, but we appreciate it. And this has been 94.7 The Pulse, GDFL Football Match of the Day. We'll be back in a fortnight.